Hello, 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 everybody. You know what? I forgot to turn on my light, so it looks really. Just 1 second. How is everybody doing? Can you guys hear and see me okay? I'm sorry about the lighting right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to fix that as soon as I figure out what I'm doing here again. I always think I have everything together, and apparently I never do. So that would be part of my life. How is everybody? And you guys can hear me? Okay, good. Thank you, Jenna. And I have Brandon here with me. Hello, Brandon.
Howdy.
How are you?
How's it going? I'm good here.
Well, of course you are, because you're kind of organized more than I am. So there we go. Okay. All right. That's better. Now you can have some light. If it's too dull, too dim, you guys just let me know. I can, see what your comments are, all of that stuff. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's exciting to be here. I absolutely love doing these live shows, and I'm having so much fun, and it's so wonderful to get to know everybody. It's so wonderful to meet everybody, and we just truly appreciate it. I also have Brandon's information down in the description box below, as well as links to all of my website, my Instagram, my Facebook page, for those of you that are seeking private readings. And so just, to remind everybody what we are doing today is these are going to be mini readings. So for those of you that are seeking more of a full reading, by all means, you can either check out my information, Brandon's information. I did want to talk about one other thing, though, today as well. So I don't know if, some of you know exactly how, YouTube works with the algorithms. So I always ask people, please subscribe. That is one of the, I guess, restrictions of getting a reading here today. But what I did notice, and I do appreciate everybody who has subscribed, because it really, what it does is it brings you up onto the YouTube algorithm, and it allows more people to see. And the more subscribers you get, the closer you get to monetization and all of that stuff. So basically what it does is it allows me to keep doing these readings for you guys. And I absolutely love doing them. But I did notice that what has happened over the last few weeks is that people have subscribed and then unsubscribed, it's like to get the reading, and then it's gone away. And what happens is YouTube does take a look at that, and they go, okay, well, they either they'll know exactly what account it is that is happening to. But not only can that not benefit me, but it can also sometimes screw up with your own abilities of stuff. So that is something, especially if you're trying to build your own channel, right? Because that is something that YouTube does take a look at. And so I'm just going to ask you guys, please, everybody is absolutely welcome to watch the show, but, and to participate and everything like that. And I want to give as many readings as I possibly can. But if you are, subscribing and then unsubscribing right after the show, please don't, because again, it does mess up all of that stuff. But we also want to talk about energy exchange in itself. But first, actually, let me get into one other thing. So one of the things that we don't do readings on is health. Okay, so we never look into your health, other people's health. If, here's the thing, is that with health things, we're not doctors, and it would be just very unethical of us to do health readings. We also prefer not to look into third-party situations. And also, I know there's a few other restrictions. Brandon, help me out here.
Well, I think, everybody works differently with what they read on and what they don't. For example, there are somehow things that I'll talk about, and I certainly won't diagnose, but I will say
Absolutely.
to people hey, focus on
this part of you or this chakra, even or
right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Simple things like that. But if you're asking about a diagnosis or specifically a kind of legal matter, those are things that are actually protected. If you think about this, okay, think about energy. And if you look at, for example, a court, the very first thing that you see on a court of law is a symbol. It is a seal. That seal is representative of all of the energy that has gone into this system for so long that it can't be distorted or moved. So you can't actively tap into something that is sort of protected. In the same way that we talked about in the show last week, pregnancy, those are a very protected process. So legal things are always difficult because you can't really access all of the information. Medical things with diagnoses as well, that pertains to a specific doctor who they all have their own seals, and you can't necessarily always tap in with a diagnosis. But there are, like we were just talking about, certain things, areas of the body that we may be called to focus on. So just kind of keep that in mind, when you're asking and thinking of questions here.
One of the things too is the collective. So when we're talking about legal matters, and to some degree even health, it's kind of like asking for the lottery numbers. Like, trust me, if we could get the lottery numbers, we absolutely would. But but here's the thing is that things like that are random. And again, it does sort of fall under that free will. It also falls under, there's so many people that if everybody was saying, well, am I going to win the lottery? Am I going to win the lottery? Am I going to win the lottery? I will tell you one thing though. Here's the interesting part of the law of attraction. So have you ever noticed that sometimes people that win the lottery already have a lot of money? Right? Is because their vibration is already in that place of wealth receiving. They're already in that place of accepting. They're already in the place of whatever. It doesn't matter. The same is actually interesting with relationships. So when we're in a place with relationships, and a lot of people don't understand this. So like when we say to people, focus on you. Or focus, try to remove that focus from somebody, or try to, work on this element within yourself. The reason for that is simply because of the fact that when we're in a place of like that desperation or, that worry of every second, it's the same with financial matters. When we remove the worry that is surrounding it, we really are attracting something. So it's like being in that element of, I already have this. I already have this relationship. I already have this new car. I already have a full bank account. And so when we notice, like I said, lottery winners, a lot of times, some people will win the lottery 2 or 3 times. Why? Because they don't care, right? They're just doing a lottery ticket, throwing it, whatever. They might find it in a coat pocket and go, oh yeah, I guess I should check my lottery ticket. Oh, I won. Okay, great. Big deal. But really that is the energy that really is that attraction, and it brings things in, and we have to remember that. So again, when we're coming from that different place, or that place of wanting or needing, or, a lot of times we'll say, if I don't have this, not we will say, I don't mean anybody specific or me specific or anything like that, but a lot of times we'll get into this energy that we can be throwing out where we're like, if I don't have this relationship, there's nobody else, or, this, whatever it is, like whatever that energy is. And we just have to remember, like, shifting that energy, focusing in on me. What is it that I need? What is it that I want? And, here's another interesting little thing too. A lot of people will say, we'll say to people, what is it that you want in a relationship? And then they start listing the things that they don't want. Right? And you're like, oh, well, how about switch that around? Right? What is it that you truly want? Because they'll say, well, I don't want a cheater. I don't want a drinker. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's like, okay, but those are things from your past. So those are experiences that you've already had, and you're drawing now into this present and future energy. And so when you switch that around, you say, oh, look, I want somebody faithful. I want somebody who's loving. I want somebody who's kind. I want somebody who enjoys coffee, whatever it is. Those are elements that you're also throwing out into the universe also. So you're not bringing into the past, you're bringing into the present. Or I already have somebody that, is kind and faithful and loving and committed and all of these things. So we want to bring that more into this present day rather than bring in things or experiences from our past. Well, even if it's with the same person. Okay. And that's a lot of, that's a big thing too, because sometimes people will say, well, I really want to have this person within my life, but they were blah, 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 blah. So you're like, okay, but so you're now focusing in on that past element instead of, again, drawing into this future element or this current and present day element and energy. So Brandon and I were actually talking about what would be interesting for readings today. And I think that we would really like to, of course, we'll do other readings, but we were thinking, of sort of staying within one particular theme. And I think Brandon would be best at explaining it to everybody today.
Yeah, I was thinking about how where we kind of currently are as a whole. And, I cannot help but to keep feeling pulled and swayed towards what is happening politically in the United States. And it feels like, I've talked to some people and I've talked to some friends, and some people are like, it's just the same old as every single election, it will change in power or whatever or not, and everything's going to be the same. But my gut instinct is telling me that this time is different, that something is different here. And I felt it would be appropriate to really discuss oppositions. Right now, we're in the United States, there's a clear division happening. And I think it's happening all over the world as well, because the United States does kind of touch different places of the world, as we all have seen and known. And so what we were thinking of doing was doing readings that seem specific to a theme, and that theme being opposition. Where is it that you feel personal opposition, maybe in yourself, your own life, with another person? What is happening in your life where there may be some kind of inherent contradiction or paradox? I think this is something that is slept on with people receiving psychic readings, is that we can absolutely help tap into these moments. I mean, so many of us hit paradoxes in our life, or things that are contradictory. And this is an amazing, incredible thing that you can use a psychic for to help you figure stuff like this out. I mean, paradoxes really can mess up your whole life, or, add something of flavor depending on which way you allow yourself to fall with it. And so using somebody who, has psychic abilities to uncover this problem is just extremely beneficial. So I think a good little theme to stay on, if you can figure that out, is finding something of opposition in your life and seeing how we can help there. Like Kathy said, of course, I think we can do other readings as well, but I think staying on that theme would be super beneficial, just because of the fact that it's happening collectively. Just like Carrie says here in the chat, the Great Awakening worldwide, there's truth to that. There is an awakening happening, and to figure out where you're falling, on this path, of awakening, where is it happening for you in your life? Where is it that you feel that you might be being opposed to your own awakening? What feels like it might be holding you back? And maybe that's also a good realm as well. Thank you for suggesting that, Carrie, and putting that in there, that maybe you yourself feel like you're being blocked from your own awakening, and that would be fun to read on as well, I think. It would be very
absolutely
beneficial.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I don't know if you want to give like just a brief example of what it is, just in case people are kind of confused, or, there might be, they might be in a place where I'm not sure exactly what he means.
Okay, so opposition. So there could be, for example, maybe in a relationship context, maybe you're interested in somebody, but they're not fully interested, or showing that they're interested in you, and then all of a sudden you lose interest in them, and then they come back and now they're interested in you, and you're kind of going back and forth, not sure, is it a catch-22? Am I stuck? Am I going, what am I in? Or, for example, maybe you have two specific choices in the same realm that you have to make. For example, maybe it's a career thing, and you have one choice that goes right, one choice that goes left. Which side do you feel like you want to go on?
I love
that's
that.
Another good example of opposition as well.
Yeah, I love that. I truly love that. Just for the collective, I've been pulling some cards, and as we're going through here, and it's really interesting, the energy that's coming in. I really feel like So the cards that came through just for the collective is it's really coming through with Ride the Wave as a first card. Then we've got the Gentle Gardener. Huh?
Is that dolphins?
Yeah, it's dolphins. Isn't that right? That. Like, how perfect for you.
I'm obsessed
with
dolphins.
I know.
I am obsessed.
And we have Gentle Gardener and One Ring Circus. So what I'm really getting here, and then the last one that's coming through is the Magic Stream. So again, more water energy, which is interesting because right now we're right into Scorpio season. But what I'm getting with this is it really feels like right now is, you know, it's sort of what I was talking about, and what Brandon's been saying is like that opposition, all of that place. It's really that time, and you know, we've mentioned it before, to really draw in your energy, really draw in. When it talks about that One Ring Circus, it's like not allowing yourself to get into the energy of what's going on here and here and here and here. It doesn't mean you can't watch or you can't pay attention to it, but it's like really listen to all of the narratives that are being said. Really listen with that open mind. Really listen and follow your gut, your intuition. Follow all of that. Be that gentle gardener. So instead of getting, you know, in a place of being riled about one place or another place or one side, another side, whatever it is, it's really drawing in your own energy and allowing yourself to ride that wave. And really listen to yourself, because the magic that's going to come out of that is that magic stream. It's a really interesting energy, and I was just randomly pulling them, and it just really fit with what I've been feeling like this last week or so, you know, with all of the things that are going on with the tensions, the media, all of that junk that's been happening. And it's really like, instead of just listening to what somebody else's narrative said, no matter where it's coming from, really listen to yourself and really listen and say, am I doing this because this is a collective movement? Or am I doing this because I truly, truly feel within me that this is the right next move? Or is this the way that I'm really feeling? Or is this the way that I really am absorbing this energy? How am I taking it? Or am I just, you know, I hate using, I think my biggest term that I don't like is that word sheep, which is interesting because with that gentle gardener, we do have some sheep showing up. And it's funny because I don't mean that we're being sheep, but what it is saying is that don't follow the collective if it's not resonating with you. On either side, on either way, you have to follow you, is what I'm getting here.
Absolutely. Absolutely have to follow an internal pulse. There's so much information that is out there right now that is, we don't even know if it's real. We don't even know if it's true. And that's why, and I had posted this years ago when it was just very clear that we were getting a lot of misinformation, that this is one of the most important things. And honestly, I think one of the most important reasons why psychic development is so important right now in this life is that we have no idea what we can rely on. We have no idea what is true and what is honest as far as news and information that's coming through to us unless we experience it ourselves. And that's why having your own intuition, at the very least, gut instincts, present within yourself, it's going to be able to guide you to the right place and make the right decision, because so many people right now have no idea what to do. They have no idea what to do. Everybody that's out there, we see, again, especially for those of us that are in the United States and, you know, possibly neighboring Canada and Mexico as well,
Canada.
that, you know, we're being pushed to one side or another, and you don't necessarily have to be that way, but so many people are feeling pressured like they have to. Of course, I think riding on the middle is always the best place to go, especially as far as politics is concerned, because it's just the same as anything else. Balance is needed.
The yin and the yang is coming through.
You can't have too much coffee or caffeine. You're gonna wig out of your mind, your body, but a little bit of it kind of helps. You know, if you're waking up, you enjoy that kind of thing. So everything in balance, everything in moderation. I think the same should be said for politics as well. We have to have that checks and balances. But that's why it's important to develop your own intuition right now, so that you know what you can trust and what you can rely on, which is the self. So I think that's a perfect message for the collective right now, Kathy.
Yeah, I really do. It just feels so much that it's like, I feel like globally we all need to just, take that, one of the things sometimes I recommend to clients is make sure that you're taking at least 15 minutes to yourself, just to you, in a day. And this isn't, whether you have husbands, children, whatever it is, just, 15 minutes, turn off that TV, take a bath, jump into the shower, go for a walk. I'm not walking around right now because it's like, minus 100. No, I'm just teasing. It's not quite that bad. Like -3 and snowy and icy. But because we're not in Texas like some people.
Oh my good gosh. It's gorgeous. The sun is out. It is 70, 80 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to turn Brandon off. No, I'm just teasing. But no, like literally 15 minutes a day. Do you agree with me? Like, I just feel like it's so important. Because it allows
every morning.
Yeah. It allows you to get into your own energy. It allows you to, bring back the energy that you may have expended out the night before, the day before, whatever it is, or maybe throughout that day. And it just, Melissa, I am so freaking jealous if you're in this day. I total admittance of jealousy here.
Hey, well, guess what? Once I build my health spa healing sanctuary, y'all are all welcome.
Yeah. Oh,
come
I'll
recharge, come be warm, come in the sauna, get some massages, soak in the hot tub, catch some rays. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Y'all are all welcome.
What's funny is before this whole, COVID thing, my son and I was actually going to buy a trailer, RV. And we were planning on traveling into the States like this summer. We had talked about it, when we were in Disneyland last year, and we were like, what would be great is just to get an RV and freaking drive around. We can do homeschooling. We can do whatever we want. And so we were like ready. We were like talking about it the whole bit. And then, but it was funny because my son said last year, I was actually debating about going to Disneyland. I was like, should I go this year? I don't know if I should go. I'm kind of like, like this with it. And then I was like, no, I feel like I need to go. I feel like this is the year that I need to go. I feel like I need to go right now. And so literally we packed up and we were gone within like days. It was like a spur of the moment kind of decision. We just pretty much went, I said, yeah, we're going to go, booked some hotels, and off we like literally jumped into the car and went, right? And it was funny because he said to me when everything was shut down, he's like, yeah, I got to listen to you more often. He goes, because you just knew something, like you just knew we had to go. And I was like, I felt it so bad. Like, I don't know what it was, but I knew we had to go. And it was funny. So I love it. But let's get to some readings. How do you feel about that one?
I think we're good as long as we are just everybody's clear on any of the restrictions and the affirmations here. I think we're good to go. Mm-hmm. So keep in mind, if you have something about an opposition or an awakening that you really want us to look into, we are absolutely more than happy to do that. Also, keep in mind, today is the new moon. Yes. This is a time to plant the seeds. And if there's something that you really want to see manifest in your own life, plant that seed today. Write it down, write it in a journal, write it somewhere, keep it safe. Mm-hmm. I personally have this really cool, this thing is amazing. It's a really cool glass pyramid. The base of it is made out of a mirror and it folds open. And so what I can do is put little things inside of it. So I'll write a little note I'll write what I'm working on manifesting, fold it up in a little piece of paper, put it in the pyramid, and then I'll put a crystal that matches the energy of what I am working on manifesting. And then I close it and forget about it. Forget completely, let it sit in its own thing, let it sit in its own space. And boom, all of a sudden, moon cycle later, there it is.
You just gave me a great idea because I don't know if you guys have probably seen these in my videos, but I make these organites, right? So these are all like crystal, natural materials.
Oh my God, it's so pretty.
Right? I love making this. So you just actually,
Kathy, we should do a giveaway at some point.
Oh, I would love that. I think that would be a great idea. I'm gonna maybe we'll work on something this week for like next, you know what I mean? So that we can do that. Yeah.
Maybe the Saturday after US Thanksgiving, since people will be shopping. That would be a good time to do it. That would be a good Christmas present for somebody.
But you also just gave me a great idea, is putting the affirmation inside here.
Oh, what? That is incredible.
Right? So there we go. Now I just have a whole new thing to start working on.
Can you show us the other ones? Those ones look
absolutely.
So cool back there.
So these two here, this one I actually had a dream about. So it was like a star seed, palladium type of organite that it just sort of came to me. I literally dreamt this one, and it's got the white amethyst in it. Or not white amethyst, white quartz. What's that? Yeah,
spin it around, show us all the sides. Look at that big crystal right there.
Yeah, that's hematite, and it's just beautiful. And then it's got like the clear quartz, white quartz.
I love that side. I don't know why I love this side. That's on
this one here. There's actually a heart in there. So this is it is an organite inside of an organite. So I made the heart organite out of pink rose crystal or rose amethyst, pink I'm saying the wrong elements here. Rose quartz. I'm sorry. Blah blah blah. Rose quartz. And then I put that inside of the organite itself. So
that's so pretty.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that clear top or the white top as well.
Right?
That's really pretty.
Yeah, the white quartz. White quartz.
It just sets the top of that pyramid.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, white quartz is extremely
Denise.
What's that? What did Denise say?
Denise, I have an organite and I'm not afraid to use it.
Right? Good weapons. Good. Yes. Paper.
Yeah, and home protection too.
I got my own home protection going on here, right? These things will do some damage. This is hematite up here with the amethyst around it in here, and then the rest of it is all just natural elements like river rock. I got moss in there. Baby's breath, I believe that is. Yeah, things like that. So it's all.
I love that gold on the bottom. Oh my god.
That is actually a flower.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I took
one big flower.
So I took a flower from my garden, and I wasn't sure how it was going to if it was going to keep the color, because some will keep color, some won't, some will change. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw it in. Whatever happens, happens. We're going to try it. And it turned into this beautiful gold. Isn't that amazing?
Is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, I love gold. I absolutely love gold.
It's amazing. Like I love color. They are my relaxation thing to do. Like honestly, so cool. I get into this place where I'm just, super chill,
sparkly.
And relaxed.
I know people in here are gonna love that one.
I know, right? I think what we'll do is, I'm thinking we'll create a really special one, and then have like a giveaway for that. I think that would be.
Everyone seems to be responding to the blue and the purple colors.
The blue and the purple? Oh,
yeah, that seems like the most that people are really enjoying are these blue and purple colors.
Yeah. You know what? It was interesting. I literally I had a dream about it. I just saw it in my dream. I woke up, I went downstairs, and I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. It was almost like automatic. I just, a lot of my creations or whatever it is just sort of pop up into my mind like that, and off I go.
I want an orca one.
I know you do.
You to make an orca one.
That would be so cool. That would be so cool.
Like there's so many cool elements you could do with like the black and white colors, but doing certain sparkles and then water. There's so many cool colors I think could go into that one.
See, this one too is like the rose with the yeah. So
that is beautiful.
I literally
so cool, Kathy. Those are so cool.
Oh, thanks. You know, it's funny. I'm one of those weird people. I'll go outside and I just start picking things up, and I'll be like, "Oh, look at this would look good." Okay. I'm like picking up rocks and grass and whatever the hell I can find, and just little things like that. So
there's so many things you could do with that. I never even realized. Like you can use anything, like and create a theme, or even cater them to specific people and their energies. Like I'm even thinking of, what about this? What about doing one where we get somebody's astrology chart, and then I'll help you like map out certain energies or points of focus, and then you gather them and make, like that would be kind of cool.
That would be really
like
cool.
Having a specifically catered one to somebody's energy and what they need.
That would actually work really good, because even if it was just, what do you guys think about this? Like even one side of the Organite being like the chart.
Oh yeah,
right, with the rest of it being whatever it is. So maybe even specific towards the colors, or maybe specific with their own colors that they choose or something like that. I think that would be really cool.
That would be pretty cool. Or maybe even on the bottom you could put that too.
Oh,
like the chart on the
bottom. Yeah, as that would be really good. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
Denise, they're rocket bras.
Rocket bras.
Back then. That was not that far. That was not that long ago.
Imagine trying to carry that around on your chest. Jesus.
Denise is trying to carry one in her purse for self-defense.
I have one in my car.
Like, in the bottom.
But it's just one of the little tiny ones that I keep in my car. But I suppose I could do some damage with it if I really wanted.
Let me ask you this real quick. Is it possible to make a diamond shape, one small one on top of the other? Is that possible?
Yes. Well, not individually though. Like they would have to be inside of this, but you could do it on the inside. So you could make that on the inside with that, right? Because they're very heavy, and they're hard. Like this is like literally really heavy. But they you'd have to be able to glue them somehow together. In this, I could put them in, and then it would be like in the pyramid type of shape. But otherwise you'd have to somehow, make sure that the elements went together, but the resin doesn't work that way. Yeah. Because it's once it's all in, it's actually quite heavy to manipulate. So I have to be, there's been times where literally I'll put something into an Organite and I'm sitting there for like half an hour or an hour holding a string, making sure it's like, don't move. No, don't move. You just sit there. And your hands kind of like, like that, right? So,
well, I think this is amazing. I think there are some really cool things to do with that. And make sure y'all are subscribed so that you see when we're doing the giveaway if you are interested in receiving one of these.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it. Like we'll talk about it throughout the week and then announce it like on Saturday, and then we'll get the contest going for, I would say, like close to Christmas, like because we'd want probably like a week of creation. It takes me about a week to create, and then of course we're going to want to ship it out to you guys, right? So we want to make sure that it's not going to be late, especially if it's for Christmas or for yourself or whatever. Like we want to be able to get it there for you. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think we should offer a catered one, or should we just make one and then we can give that one away? What do you think? What do you guys think in the chat? You want one that's more specific to you if you were to win it, or do you want one that, you know, Kathy just intuitively and is inspired to create?
Yeah. What would you guys prefer? Denise is funny. Some girls carry crystals. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I have done that. Not huge ones because, you know, I'm not that type of person that could probably get away with that. But those little ones, for sure, I've done that. And okay, Emily is saying an intuitive one. All right, I like that. Yeah, because I'm already really totally getting ideas, right? So, yeah.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
Well, very cool. Glad you shared that with all of us because those are
I you know what? I honestly, I love making them. Hello, Polyfree. Yeah, I do. I just it's something with me. I don't know what it is. It's just I just love making them. I just love it. I was like, I don't know. It's like it's my being creative, like whether it's renovating or making those or just, I don't know. I'm always doing something when it comes to stuff like that. And it kind of drives myself crazy because I'll have an idea. I'm one of those like ADHD people. I'm like, oh, I got to do this. And then I got to do that. And I got to do this. And you know, I'm kind of all over the place.
5, 6 different projects all going on at once.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, still at the same time, you know, putting in, you know, like the time for people that, you know, are important, right? And the things that are important. So it's like that energy that I thrive on and I love it. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, poof, done. So does anybody have any questions, readings?
Well, before we open it up, I just want to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
Before we open the room for questions, do you want to set a limit, like a time limit on when you want to stop taking questions?
Yeah,
now?
I think, what time is it now? So I think maybe what we'll do is we'll just take them, like I'm thinking so it's 1:45. Well, okay. My time, I don't know what time it is for you guys. My time is 1:40. So I would say like, let's allow for the next half hour and then we will have like maybe by 2:30 or like 45 minutes be done.
Okay.
So anybody that comes in, you know, after, well, again, 2:15 my time.
So like 45 minutes and then we'll close off the reading room in what, like an hour?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
And then that way we can end at the top of the hour?
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. I think that would work. And that way too, you know, it does allow people that are late to come in or, you know, whatever. Right. And I think that would work really well. So yeah.
All right.
I don't know if people have any questions. I haven't seen any questions.
Reading room is officially open. Well, I have told everybody not to submit.
Oh,
I specifically said not to submit.
Okay. I'm trying not to. I'm paying attention to the chat. But because I'm not wearing my glasses, I always look like I'm like so squinting. So I'm kind of like watching like this and paying attention as much as I can. But I obviously need new glasses, which I haven't gone for yet. So
oh, this worked really well. Thank you all for being patient when we open the room. This works.
I truly appreciate that. Yeah.
This is great. All right, give us a moment for these to sink in here. I am just putting y'all in order, the list they came in, so you can see clearly where your question is, and we're just going right in order of when they were submitted. I'm going to keep all the funny emojis that y'all sent as well in my list. Just because it kind of fits perfectly here. And then Kathy, if you would like to do the first one while I finish up this list.
Sure.
So first is going to be Jenna.
Okay.
Jenna says, I feel like I'm attracting the same type of relationships and I feel like I manifested my breakup. So I feel like my opposition is me.
Okay. So here's what I'm getting right away. And it was funny because as soon as Brandon said your name, I really felt this energy throwing, coming in. So Jenna, what I'm getting is I do feel there has been like that energy from the past that there's been that disappointment with other people, even sometimes within yourself. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm just going to say what I have to say. And I apologize, like I don't want anyone to take it in some sort of negative way, but I do feel there is this element of a self sabotage that does come in some manner. So it almost feels as though things are going really good, or they might be going right, and it might be it's like this energy. I have to just push it a little more. I have to make it a little quicker. I have to I hear the word investigate. So I don't know if that's you sort of investigating somebody, or, maybe really watching social media or whatever it is. It feels as though, or you might even just be questioning the person. It feels like this energy, like I said, of a bit of self-sabotage. So I feel to some degree that these relationships that you've been, drawing in are in a place of being comfort, okay? Because you already know what it is that you expect from them. And it's almost as though you're like, okay, I know if I draw in this relation, I can expect this, I can expect this, I can expect this. Whether this is on a conscious level or a subconscious level, I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to read what you're saying here. I feel like that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's almost like there's that element here of you being scared to move forward. It almost feels like I keep getting like this sense of you're not 100% sure what a great relationship feels like. So there is that element of fear that does come in, like that truly, like, how would I feel if I was in that? How would I feel if I was in this place? Or you might even see other couples and you go, okay, I have felt elements of that, but there hasn't been that true trust or that true, following that path. And it feels like that is something that you need to go within yourself. And, one of the methods that I know I've talked about before is really that Sedona method. And it's allowing ourselves to experience the feelings that we are feeling. And this is you can YouTube this, you can Google it. I mean, Hale Dwoskin, he's on my Facebook. He's one of my Facebook friends. I love this method. I love this method because it can be used for just about anything. But it is really this element of going into yourself. And what we tend to do is we tend to push down our feelings. We tend to push down our emotions. So, or what we do is we tend to get into this place of expecting. So again, expecting that things aren't going to go the way that they're supposed to go, or the things that we're dreaming, or the things that we want to, the way that we want them to go. And so we get into this place of fear, and we end up building it, and we end up, again, that universe is picking up on those vibrations and really seeing what it is that we're putting out into the universe, rather than what it is that we're truly trying to develop within this, 3D realm. I'm just going to read what you have. Okay. I'm just reading the energy here. I don't want to read it out loud. It is showing up in the chat, but yeah. See, the emotionally unavailable, what happens with that? The reason that we go for the emotionally unavailable sometimes is because there's that element within us that is emotionally unavailable. Again, we hold ourselves back with fear. We hold ourselves back, from all of these things. Really, it comes down to fear. But whether it's a fear of not being in that relationship, whether it's a fear of things going wrong, whether it's a fear of, whatever it is. And it's really working in on that element. It's really going within ourselves, really working on our own chakra system. And again, really paying attention to how it is that we are feeling. So when we see something and we go, that's not making me feel good, or I feel angry about that, or I feel upset about that, what we tend to do is we push it down, right? Like, it's like, I feel really angry about this, so I'm going to push it down and I'm going to stay in this angry energy. Okay. It's not that we're getting rid of the anger. We're just pushing it down and we're not allowing it to surface. So sometimes what we can do is bring it back up and say, okay, why am I angry? Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel these emotions? Why am I feeling this? And start allowing, it's interesting. Spirit always asks or answers us when we ask these words, why and how. They really do. We just have to really listen to the words and the feelings and the energy that is coming in. A lot of times, if I don't know how to do something, and I'm just going to use a real throw it out in the air type of, thing. I want to learn how to make bread. How do I make bread? Okay. Think it to yourself. And the next thing you know, watch, you're going to see all kinds of bread recipes. Right? Like they're just going to start popping up. It's the same thing within our own fears. If we sit there and we go, how do I release this energy? How do I start to feel really happy? How do I have trust towards a relationship? How do I have, whatever it is, we really start to notice Spirit does start bringing that energy towards us. It does start allowing us, the answers that we are seeking. And so what I'm getting with you is that fear, instead of allowing yourself to be in this place of, I feel fearful, or I feel scared, or I feel like, I have to sabotage this in some way, simply because of the fact that I'm not in that, I've never really had this healthy relationship or whatever it is with other people. So it's that fear. And once you start to allow it to come through, you really do notice that difference. So I hope that helped. I'm just going to read this out loud. She said, you think it'll finally work out though, once Kayla and I reconcile. I do want stability, but it has been scary for me since I've never had that. I feel like our breakup, yeah, absolutely. The breakups have to happen to work on you. And here's the thing, I think you were here last week when we talked about, like the cookie dough, like people aren't quite cooked yet. It just sounds so horrible, right? But it's true. It's really going into yourself. Here's what I keep feeling with you and Caleb. Yes, I do feel that this can work. But I'm really getting the word investigate or observing, and I'm not sure exactly where that energy is. What I really get with that is this, it's almost like you're observing or waiting for something. It's like, I'm in this happy place, so now I'm going to sit back and I'm going to observe, I'm going to investigate. It's almost like you're scanning either him or the energy or the ground. It literally feels like you're scanning, almost looking for something that might be on a more negative tone or a negative manner or whatever it is. Here's the interesting thing. If we, I like to tell people, try not to look at the social media, try not to pay attention to it, as hard as that is, because I've been there. But when you're in that place of already having that fear, try to stay away from it, or try to stay away from even just going, even if it's not within social media, if you guys aren't following each other, whatever it is, it's like trying to stay away from the energy of something negative and, stop scanning, stop looking, stop observing. Just start looking within yourself, because it feels like you're observing or whatever it is externally rather than internally. I hope that that's helped.
I want to place some emphasis on something you said, Kathy, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
You had just said it, and you had said it earlier too, and I want to put the importance on it, because I don't know if it's coming across as extremely important. And this happens for so many people. It's nothing that you did. It's just people neglect or don't think about the fact, when they're focusing on relationships with other people, that however they feel and love themselves will be directly reflected onto the other person every single time. I think so many people assume that when you're in love with somebody, or when you're trying to figure out if they're going to be in love with you, that this is an outside occurrence. It is not. It is not. You don't feel love over in the rug or your shoes or the wall. No, 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 no. You feel that inside of yourself. You feel it inside. And if it's not being felt inside, then, and you're looking for it outside of the self, then it's not even real.
Yeah.
Because we all know, especially now more than ever, that even just on quantum theory, quantum physics, reality is not even constructed until the observer is present. So if you're trying to create something outside of yourself, it must start internally. And I think so many people mix that up. That's why it's so important to investigate and look within. I often tell people the relationship that you have with yourself, the love that you have with yourself, that's you're going to see this exact same thing in your partner or whomever you're pursuing, whoever's of interest. You're going to see that reflected in the other person. That's why love is so deeply personal. That's also why when you're with somebody for so long, that psychic things start happening. That's the entire point. You start knowing each other's thoughts. You feel it, you start knowing what they're exactly. You know how they're feeling. You know how they're going to be. It's so incredibly important. And so with Jenna specifically, she is so smart. She's so smart, maybe too smart for her own good. And I think that a lot of logic comes into play with her feeling and her emotion. And I think that if there's not a logical path or logical sense, that all of a sudden, it just is thrown to the realm of spirit or psychic or whatever, wherever it goes. And I think honestly, I think that's a beautiful thing, because when you can trust in something outside or, above yourself, some kind of higher power, higher existence, when you put it in those hands, it definitely allows things to manifest in a more harmonious way. So at the very least, if you feel like you can't figure out what's going on in the self, at least give it to spirit, God, source, higher self, whatever you believe in. And at the very least, that will help. But I think with Jenna specifically, there is a need. She had said one comment, and it was, what did she say? I always run into people who are emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
I think she said that.
Yeah.
And I know exactly this, and I'm going to tell you from personal experience that I also went through the same thing. I mean, I went from person to person who was completely emotionally unavailable. And it's all because I felt like if I loved them so much, that if they finally loved me and gave me the emotion, that I would feel worthy. I did something right. If I can make the person who's the most tough to love me, that they'll love me back, and then I can finally accept love for myself. It doesn't work that way. It's the opposite. The opposite is true. The more that you have that love in yourself, the more that people are just going to be able to feel it. And then the right ones are going to be attracted and drawn to it. So it's a sticky way of going about it. But I will say this. If you feel similarly to myself or to Jenna, that you're constantly attaching to people that are emotionally unavailable, chances are you're probably a healer. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is very true, right? Because it is that natural ability, it's that natural need and want to be able to help others so much, because it's like you have this energy. It's like you can feel what is going on within sometimes the person. You may not be able to put it directly into words. You may not be able to put it into a direct narrative of some sort, but you feel that energy, and you just want that person to feel as good and as happy and as, loving, or being able to give, as well as receive all of that stuff. And it's like this flow of energy that you do have, right? Jenna was asking for an energy update, so I'm just going to very quickly, it's really interesting. It is really asking you to come to the edge. Okay. And it almost feels as though there is that element of this rock bottom here, meaning that really get inside of yourself. I'm still feeling this energy of what we had talked about last time, so I would say, it was about I want to say about five week, it was like in that energy. I just feel like he's coming through within this next month. Okay. Like from here till about December at some point, I still feel this energy changing. I do feel though, Jenna, it is really asking you to get into this energy of that, come to the edge, like really go to the edge, really take a look. This is right now the perfect time for you guys to really get in to yourselves, whether it's him or you. You got to remember the work that you're doing on you will be reflected upon him, but don't do the work for him. That's very important. Don't do the work because you think it will make a change. Do the work because it's doing the change within you. Okay. And I do feel like I still feel this path going forward and further. But you just have to, this is now the perfect time to, get into this and really allow it to escape, really work on your own intuition, really work on releasing those things, really look into where your energetic vibration is and why it is going a certain place. Okay. So I hope that that's helped. No, I don't feel that it's changed, Jenna. The only thing that I feel could possibly change in regards to that is by not doing the work that is needed. I hope that that makes sense. Yeah. Who is next?
All right. Thank you, Jenna, for that good conversation. I think it really pulled in a lot of information for other people. So I appreciate your question here.
Yeah.
So JJ is going to be next.
Okay.
JJ, give us a little shout out in the chat to make sure you're here. And I am updating the list here. Shafi, I have got you on the list. And Andre, I've got you on the list as well.
That's exactly it, Denise. Shadow work, 100% shadow work. And you know what? Shadow work is shadow work is like the hardest thing to do, but it is so freaking beneficial when you come out of it. You're just like, who was I last? Like, I am not that same person that I was like a week ago or a day ago or last year or whatever it was. It's like it just allows so much energy clearing. It is so beautiful. As much hell as it, we think that we're going through it. But here's the thing is that, once we start really looking at the situation, even if we can take that step back and look at it as like that third, like a video game. Okay. If you're playing third party video game, right. And you're watching the characters, take that observer look. And that even might be where that energy is coming from. When I was saying like, it's like observing, investigating, it's like taking that step back and looking at it from this was my role, this was their role, this is, and going through that rather than coming from a place of emotion. And it really does help. And we start to really look at things and go, oh, I see now where things are coming from. And then we can go back inside of ourselves and really start clearing a lot of those things up. So
I love shadow work. Maybe I'm a weirdo.
Thank you, Polly, for that was so cute. Yeah. What? I'm sorry, Brandon, what were you saying?
I was just saying I love shadow work. Maybe I'm a weirdo for that, but I enjoy it. I like digging into the roots. I remember saying when I was younger, I'm like, bring me all of my life crisis so I can deal with them now. So that way when I'm, 30, I can just move forward solidly. And I really did a lot of the work. I remember at such a young age, I was like maybe 13, 12 years old. And I was always around adults all the time. When I lived with my dad, he brought me to the bars and I was just always around adults, being around them all the time. And I would hear all their stories and so many of them going through these midlife crises. And I'm like, let me get all this out of the way first.
Right.
Okay. Let me figure out who the hell I am first. So I don't have to go backwards and do all this over again.
I don't want to be in this energy anymore. I'm done with it now. Yeah. Let's just not deal with it later on.
Exactly.
I'm good.
There is some benefit to that, truly. I mean, there really is. You get to walk through life feeling solid. I will tell you this. When I hit my Saturn return, I have never felt more solid in my entire life. I feel solid, stable, defined, and that's only growing. I'm adding to it, but my foundation is so secure. So y'all, if you haven't gone through your first Saturn return yet, it is amazing. Denise is like, oh, a lot of people fear it, but I loved it because I was prepared for it. I was honestly, I was ready. I was prepared. I cut the bullshit out of my life consistently, constantly, and regularly. And what remained was true. And so now I've gone forward with what is true for myself. And I really, I literally wake up every single day thanking God for Spirit, every single day being in gratitude because I'm just in such a good place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really is beneficial. It really, really is. And if you've already went through your Saturn return and it was shitty, well, now you know, and in your understanding, okay, there's truth in my life. Finally, I didn't like how I got there, but I got there.
Yeah. Endings. This is the card that came out, the World. And time to end cycles. Time to end the cycles, right?
I want to say something real quick. All right, JJ, we're right here. Don't worry, we're coming at you. But there is a new cycle happening, and all you Aquarians, get ready. So we're having a Saturn and Uranus conjunction. And what happens is, since they'll be directly connected, this does something very interesting.
With the Fool.
They connect every 10 years. They come into a conjunction, and they connect in the same element signs. So for example, they would connect they do it every 10 years. So for the past 30 years, I believe they were connecting all in earth signs. Well, now they're going to be connecting in air signs. And the first air sign they're connecting in is Aquarius. So
there we go.
Nobody alive has ever been through this. No one alive has ever been through this before. It hasn't happened in a few hundred years. So this is a new moment. And it's happening on the winter solstice on December 21st. Ooh. There absolutely is an ending. And with every ending, what happens?
Well, it's funny. I literally pulled the Fool card up just a second ago. And I was like, well, there you go. Right? Got that ending. We got the World. We got that Fool card coming in. It's time to take that leap of faith, time to move forward, time to end one cycle, move into the next one. Right? So there we go.
So William is asking what shadow work is. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. Okay. So William, so shadow work is really going into ourselves and figuring out we all go through life experiences, okay, from the time that we're created. All right. Whether this is within our childhood, our teens, as we're growing, moving forward. And what we have to remember is all of these life experiences are coming in for a reason. And I know a lot of people, sometimes they'll argue that and say, well, I didn't, what was the reason behind this horrible, horrific experience? You know what? That's where that shadow work comes in. And it's really allowing ourselves to recognize forgiveness, not only forgiveness within others, but it's really forgiveness within ourselves as well. It's really going deep into the hows, the whys, how is it that I create this experience? Or how is it that this experience appeared? How is it that this experience how is it supposed to move me forward? What darkness am I releasing within ourselves? We are all born of that yin and yang energy, okay? As above, so below. And that shadow work is like going into the below of our own life experiences, our own chakra system, our own, to some degree, ancestral, generational patterns, even our own DNA to some degree. And it's allowing it to come out. So it's basically allowing ourselves to take a look at how we react at certain situations, how we react toward, even our own experiences. So are we, a place of, why am I always feeling angry? Well, let's go in and take a look at that. Let's take a look as how we can really release this energy. Why do I get angry with these particular experiences? Because sometimes they just break down to particular experiences. It might be when I see this, I get angry. Okay, well, why do we get angry? It's like going in and finding the root cause of that experience in some manner and allowing it to be released, allowing yourself again, not only to show forgiveness towards others, but it's truly allowing ourselves to be in a place of forgiveness for ourselves also. Would you like to add to that at all, Brandon?
There's I apologize, I didn't catch everything that you had said as I'm here in the chat, but just my perspective here with shadow work is that oftentimes it is diving into the culmination of all the things that were suppressed, repressed, or not focused on in your life up to a certain point, or up to, you know, the current moment. And shadow work really is digging into the cells that feel uncomfortable. So one of the best ways to start shadow work is look into your life and look at the moments that you react instantly with anything other than happiness, acceptance, or love. Anything you react to other than with those things. So if it's anger, for example, you want to know some of my shadow work? My shadow work is ignorance. When I'm out on the road and I'm driving and people are driving like bleeps, you know what I mean? When they're driving crazy, I instantly react. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you not paying attention? Why do you feel like, you're more important than everybody else? That is my shadow work. Okay. That is absolutely my shadow work, where I have to be completely chill and understand, that, okay, I am sitting here being upset with people who think that they're more important than others. Where is it in my life that I think that I might be more important than others? Yeah. Am I holding myself above other people? And that's a very uncomfortable thing for me to ask, because I pride myself on being humble. Yeah. I pride myself on, connecting with people where I don't hold myself above others. And I really focus on that. And it's probably because that is likely a part of my shadow. I see it in my reaction. So let me just say, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to look at yourself in that way. But when you rely on an honest truth, yeah, you absolutely will. Absolutely will.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It's getting to the root cause. It's getting to that full why of the why, the how. And again, asking the universe too. If you don't have a clear definition, ask the universe for it. Ask God for it, and just say, look at, why do I react like this? Why am I experiencing this? Those answers will come to you. They truly will, but we have to listen and we have to allow. And a lot of times Spirit answers us and we're like, no, that's not right. Right? No, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. No. You don't know. No. And that's where we really have to come in and go, oh, okay, you're right. And then that's where that work, that healing truly begins. It's that accepting of something and going, okay, right? But it's not beating ourselves up about it. Again, it has to do with that forgiveness, and that forgiveness is so important within ourselves. So, yes. I think we're on to Jay. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Yes. Nothing. Just a little anecdote here and there. I sprinkle in my little nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jenna. All right. So JJ is up next. JJ would like to know, what causes G to have an opposition toward us being in a relationship? What is the resistance?
Okay. It's like the answer is right here. I just need to get a little deeper into it. Just give me 1 second. Here's the interesting part, JJ. First thing I'm hearing, the first thing I'm feeling, it's not particularly them that's resistant, which is a really interesting energy. Even though, now remember, again, we're working with the higher self and we're working with the 5D level. Okay, so we've got the 5D level, which is their higher self. We've also got the 3D level, which is being shown to us in this universe, like in this earthly plane. Okay. And it's interesting because here's the energy that I get right away is I feel as though they're sitting back going, it's not me, girl. I feel like there's some change in here. I almost feel I don't think that they're particularly resistant towards it. I almost feel there's things that you both need to do. And it feels like this is more earthly energy. I hope that that makes sense. Like, I'm just reading the comments here. It almost feels like you have to do something, sort something. I don't know if this is work, career, school, something. It almost feels as though like there's something that you need to focus on. There's something that they need to focus on. And it's like this energy is going to come together. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's funny because I almost feel like I'm unfocusing as I'm doing this reading. And I don't mean unfocusing in on the question. It's almost like I'm so absorbed within this energy that I kind of almost forgot that I was live for a second. It's like it was crazy energy because I really feel this person almost standing aside going, like, it's almost like you're worrying for nothing, or it's almost as though, like, again, just taking that energy away and focusing in or figuring out what it is that you need to complete or do. I don't feel that this is going to be a situation that you guys are going to be apart for long. It just feels like it's like getting to the end of a chapter of a book. It's like you got to finish this book first so that we can move ahead, so that we can be together. And it almost feels as though they're standing back, kind of saying, I'm not resistant. I'm not resistant. It may appear that I'm resistant, but their higher self is coming through on a different level. Am I making any sense whatsoever? Do you understand? Do you know what I mean? Like, I really get that it's almost like there's these two energies that have to sort themselves. They have to work on, like, it's like a project or school or work. There's something going on within these energies in order, like, for them to come back. It's like you got to focus on this first, and then we're coming together. Do you have anything to add to that, Brandon, at all? Or I'm not sure.
I do. So this is one of the rare moments, everybody. You're witnessing history. This is one of the rare moments where Kathy and I pick up on different things. So when I was picking up and tapping into G, as JJ had mentioned, so I actually agree with what you're saying, Kathy, about them, because I am feeling this bond and the energy, but something internally takes away from the bond. It's like this initiation is not opening up for some reason.
Yeah.
But what I'm feeling into when I specifically tap into G is I am feeling that there is, okay, so you had said this, so I guess it does kind of go in line with what you did say, that it didn't actually belong to G, the resistance. And so when I connect to G, I'm feeling that there is an outside influence on G that is causing a rift. It's causing a delay. And I'm actually being shown a female who's connected to G. Spirit keeps showing me that it is a person who has been a friend since like childhood. They keep showing me childhood friend.
Okay.
And I'm feeling that they are the ones who are feeding information about who they should be with. So I feel like this is where this resistance keeps coming up. For G. I would imagine that whomever G is, I feel weird saying G over and over again. I'm so sorry. But I feel whoever this friend or influences in their life has probably stopped a lot of relationships happening for them. So I don't feel that it all has particularly.
But you don't feel it's romantic though between G and this other person.
Between G and JJ, or the female?
The female.
No, I don't think that it is.
Because I wasn't getting romantic. Like, I wasn't getting that energy of, yeah, okay.
But I absolutely question that person's motives. Though.
Right.
Not G, the person, the female who's
yeah.
influencing. I absolutely question their motives. But I don't feel that there's romance between the two of them. In fact, I feel G still holding them at a friendship level, like they are the childhood friend. So it just feels like there's that
Queen of
external
Wands
influence.
It's interesting because this Queen of Wands energy comes in, and sometimes when she does appear, it is that energy of it can mean, when I say third party, it doesn't mean third party like in the romantic sense. It's like that interference, you know, like you said, childhood. JJ was asking if it was his mom. I don't know if this is a mother energy.
I did feel a possibility of that. Just
a mother who's trying to
thing.
Friend.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. More like.
I did feel a possibility of that because the woman does seem quite defined.
Yeah.
Just seems too influential. And that's why I feel it could be possible. I'm not shown specifically. I'm just shown the female energy. The female energy does feel quite defined. So yeah. I'm not sure on the relation, but I just know that that influence is there. And once she starts thinking for themselves, then I feel that there's going to be an opening there. As far as a time frame, I can ask and see kind of what info I get here. Let me take a look.
I'm still getting that energy of him standing back a bit, and it does almost feel. The interesting thing is, one of the cards I pulled was that strength card, and I feel as though this strength needs to be coming again from you. You know how we talked about, like, you know, taking 15 minutes to yourself or whatever. I almost feel like to take a couple of minutes of that energy, of that time, letting him know that it is safe to come forward. This is going to be on a spiritual level only, and then let it go. Allow that energy to go towards him, because I do feel there's an element of safety within this person that he is, you know, that is influencing him, which is why that energy has been so strong. It's almost like they're, like you said, Brendan, definitely influencing, definitely kind of directing. I almost feel as though there is some lying going on as well. I don't know if you picked up on that as well.
Potentially, when I look into what's coming between the two of them, I just keep feeling things and seeing them being in this sort of void in the unknown, and that it takes high frequency energy for it to be able to manifest. Yeah. So that, just because they show it to me in that high frequency way, it always shows me that it goes beyond the physical. So that means that you're going to have to do things beyond just physically.
Like I was saying,
to allow the connection.
Like, let them know on a spiritual level that it's safe, exactly. Right? And yep. it's like kind of going into that energy of pretending or imagining or feeling, bringing his energy towards you, and just having that true conversation. It doesn't need to go on for long. It doesn't need to be, you know, this energy where you're spending a lot of time with it. You want to make it very solid. You want to make it very direct. And you want to let them know it is safe. It is safe. You don't need to stay within that energy. And it's really bringing up your own vibration too, and really working on within that energy. Because what I'm getting here is that element of safety, like I had said, with this person that he's around, or that has doing some influence, which is why that connection between you and him is like this, you know, because he doesn't know the unknown. He doesn't know the unknown, so he's a little scared of moving forward towards that unknown. But this whatever element this is, it's just safe. It's just safe. Yeah. Make sense?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. I had to switch headphones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be some work. But again, I do feel, going back to what I originally said, I do feel that energy is sort of standing back, and it's like, you have things to do, he's got things to do, but it almost feels as though you have to work on this connection, but it's almost like you have to work on it from that 5D level as opposed to that 3D level right now. So I hope that that's helped.
Yay, absolutely. Okay. She says,
okay,
you.
Good. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. It's like, hit this first, And then you'll start to notice those changes within that 3D level. Okay. It's just allowing it to happen. Really, really work on that spiritual element first.
You know, I want to comment on something. It's so beautiful to see as I continue doing readings, and I have been over the past, 12 years professionally. And you have this experience too, Kathy, of being able to see the trends and the questions that people ask. And one thing that I'm noticing is that there are more multi-layered connections that I've seen grow over the past 10 years alone, where people are seeing the intricacies of the spiritual connection, the emotional connection, the physical connection. I mean, it is incredible to witness the complexities and the layers of these natural connections that we have with other people. It is just absolutely incredible to witness that.
Absolutely. So cool. Okay. I'm not, JJ, I just pulled some cards. And so I don't know if you've ever watched my readings, but usually like in my YouTube readings, my weekly ones, sometimes when like I'll say something or I'm feeling something, bang, it gets shown in the cards. So I can't give you a timeline. Okay. The reason I can't give you a timeline at this moment is simply because that work needs to be done first. So there is really, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen when, you're ready for it. But I am going to tell you this. This is what's coming through. And this is the most amazing, beautiful energy. I have talked about this Knight of Pentacles. He's one of my favorite cards. Okay. And I keep talking about him. I keep bringing him up. He's like, oh, I love this energy. The reason that I love this energy is because it is movement forward, but it is not rapid energy. It is very grounded, solid, stable, progressive energy that is making that difference. Again, going back, I was just watching, like the cookie dough. Okay. You're not pulling something out early. If you two were to get into a situation now where that commitment was starting to form, I feel the bond breaking at some point, whether it's because of this other person doing influence, or maybe because there's not that quite that element of being in that place of being completely committed as of right now. What I am, however, getting is that as you're moving through this energy, this solid allowing of progression is going to happen. The card that I pulled out after was this beautiful Four of Wands. So when we talk about, a lot of readers will look at this as like that twin flame, that connection, that completeness within a relationship, getting to that place of pure happiness. We have that 11-11 going on. This is so important. So it's not so much the matter of when is this going to happen, because literally this could, energetically, time isn't of this particular dimension, right? It could happen anytime, but it is really going to have to do with the work that is going on within you. Yeah, and I was just reading, I do feel like he is my twin. So remember, again, as above, so below, okay? Or as below, so above. Clear up that energy. Really work on that stability within that spiritual realm first in order to receive the benefits and all of that work within this 3D realm is what I'm getting. So.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to have to move on here. So thank you, JJ. All right, we're going to have to
go a little faster.
Pick up the pace a little bit. We've got a lot of people to get through in a little bit of time. So we'll try to stay, I know we'll try to keep it fair and try to give you guys as much details as we can, just as we have for everyone else. But we're going to have to kind of move it along a little quickly here. So Denise is next. Denise, make sure that you are here in the chat. And we'll get right to you. I have your question up. So just send us a little hello and let us know you're here. Let me clear out JJ. Denise is here. Yay. Okay. So Denise would like to know, what are Kevin's feelings and actions towards me?
Okay.
Denise.
What did she say? I'm always here. She's awesome. Okay. Does Kevin have a birth date? And of course he has a birth date. Can you just no, he's brand new.
He's not born yet.
He's not.
Kevin's
Yeah.
not here. You remember that line from Home Alone? Kevin's not here.
That's hilarious. Oh, yeah. You know you haven't had enough coffee when?
When we were little, we used to replicate and redo Catherine O'Hara's line in Home Alone and be like, Kevin! And then we would fall backwards, all dramatic.
That's too funny. Okay, so it is really the energy that's coming in, baby Saturn. Y'all calling me a cougar? No. Baby snatcher. No.
Them Scorpios.
Yeah.
We know they can get a little kinky.
Yeah. It's really talking about, for whatever reason, Denise, it's an interesting energy. I do feel that with these cards coming through here, it does talk about being flexible. Okay. This could be, physically, but I do feel that this is more of an energetic vibration going on. It is also talking about between worlds, but here's the thing. What it's also coming through is this new life. And I do feel this energy happening here. What was the question again? Where is it going?
What are Kevin's feelings and actions towards me?
Like future actions, I'm assuming, right?
I think current. Well, why you connect here?
Yeah.
I want to jump in. So when I tapped into Kevin, I do feel there is an immaturity. I do feel there is a childishness in his energy, but there is a sense of approaching things from a purity that he really wants to be able to see. And when he feels that, this is where I keep seeing Spirit shows me growth towards harmony. So I do feel like Kevin does want things to grow, but I want to say, Denise, that I absolutely pick up on this really crazy energy between the two of you. And what Spirit keeps showing me is that there is going to be a breakdown. There's going to be so there's like this weird, awkward tension where it's like you both are being skittish or skirting away from one another, but yet feeling drawn and close. There's like this interesting dance that's happening between the both of you where you're basically feeling each other out. And what I keep being shown is there is going to be a moment of raw breakdown, quote unquote. And when that happens, this is where I keep feeling a rebirth, a renewal. And Spirit keeps showing me the sun shining upon all of this, which means that everything is going to be out in the open, stripped bare, laid on the table. And this energy will kind of be able to create a foundation for the connection between the two of you. So I do feel, and especially with Kevin being a Taurus, there is a tenacity there. I do feel that tenacious spirit coming through with him of wanting to keep that purity and build the foundation of the connection. So when this breakdown does happen, which I feel is inevitable, as long as you two keep focus on each other, that's where I feel things are going to be able to start anew. The death card, yeah, see? Exactly. Yeah. There's going to be this dead end thing. Are the two
moving
of you,
forward.
Or maybe Kevin is, maybe both of you are doing it, but maybe Kevin is specifically, because I just got this impression of feeling as if a past relationship is coming present. And so what Spirit keeps showing me is that there's still ideals from a past relationship that are being brought over now. And that's just not going to work. Denise, you know that. That's not going to work. And that you have to be raw and real in the moment, and know that, hey, okay, this is a totally different connection, totally different relationship. And I don't need to bring in my old past release, into this. So
I almost feel, Denise, there is a stubbornness within you that, as Brandon was saying about releasing something, it almost feels as though there is this stubbornness or this holding on or whatever. I just feel like this flexible coming through. It almost feels as though you have to be flexible with the behavior or the energy that is being created at this moment. It's like allowing yourself to let go of, as Brandon said, let go of, allow yourself to move forward, stop bringing this old energy in. It is really talking about this new life as well, is what I keep feeling. It's almost as though you're between these two worlds of what, but here's, going again off of what Brandon had said, it's like, you know this, but there's a stubbornness that you're holding yourself back from some, in some manner, towards completely, allowing this change. It's like it's almost as though you're stubbornly hanging on to something for some particular reason. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it is really talking about here going into that higher power, going into that element of peace instead of trying to fight the energy that is coming through. It's almost as though there's like two parts of you. Like, it's almost like you look at him and go, like, what are you doing? And then this other part is like this backwards feeling of, it's like you're taking again, what Brandon has said, taking an old relationship, trying to compare it to him. And that's just, it's not working. You have to release that other energy that's coming through. You know? I hope that made sense, or I hope it helps.
All right, so let's try and keep a good movement here. Let's move it along.
Oh,
as long as Denise is okay, regardless of not whether he comes back, I'm okay with it. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. The twin flames. Gotta love that energy.
I love the energy that Denise is giving at the fact that she's okay with it either way. Here's the thing with that, though, is I do feel that shift happening. Again, it's just somehow being flexible, change, allowing, like that death card coming through, allowing that transition. And it's almost, I hate to say this because I don't want to take away from the fact that I truly believe that you would be absolutely okay with it. But I do feel a little bit of energy in there where you're kind of telling yourself you'd be okay with it. Right? I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's almost like I'm kind of hanging on to that energy, hanging on. And I just feel like, let it all go, let it all move forward. And you're going to start really seeing the changes.
Look at that. She says, I think I'm holding on to what he did to me, mostly because if he comes back, I'd like some answers.
Yeah, but I'm not expecting them. Okay.
I bet that's going to be the breakdown. I bet you that's going to be the breakdown.
Yeah, that movement forward and allowing. And, here's the thing. We always have those decisions afterwards too, right? And you can decide whether or not you're going to let it go or whether you're just going to move it forward or however it's going to be at that time. But yeah.
So I think we have a first timer in here, Kathy. Have faith in Jesus, 23. I think they wanted to be added to the list, and also K. So we do have quite a few people. We are running out of time.
Sure. Yeah. Let's get to it then.
K.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we'll close it off at K.
Should we close the reading list after K?
Yeah.
That just came in.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Dinesh also said, hi, I need help. So let's see. I'll tentatively add have faith, Dinesh, and K. Close the reading list here.
Okay.
And we'll see if we get through these and we just so happen to have extra time, we can see who else is here. But let's just get through this list first. So next is going to be Emily.
Okay. Hey, Emily.
Emily, are you here? Oh, she's here. Perfect. Okay, so Emily would like to know, if the Capricorn does come back towards me, what does he want with me? Like, how deep are his feelings? We were very strong when we were together, but he's confusing. Well, first of all, you are not alone in Capricorns being confusing. There is absolute truth to that, especially when it comes to emotions.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna be really honest, like up front here, with this energy. I feel as though unless you actually put the boundary in, the Capricorn will kind of be in a place of I'll take what I can get. I'm not going to push it. It's almost, okay, here's a better way to put it. And I don't know your intimacy level or anything like that. But if you were to allow your boundaries to go down, if you were to say, yeah, I'm okay with, the friends with benefits, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with that, but that's not truly what you're wanting, the Capricorn would probably go along with that, is what I'm getting. I don't feel a huge fight towards a relationship, not because they wouldn't want it or they don't desire it or anything like that. I just feel it's more of an energy of like, whatever, like I kind of just take it as I go. Again, I'm not feeling that they're it's not that they wouldn't want it. So what I'm getting here, it's more of like advice for you than it is truly looking into their energy towards you, because I feel their energy towards you is very strong. They have a lot of caring, they have a lot of feelings, but there's not going to be that element of I'm going to completely pursue you and chase you down. That's not really particularly a Capricorn thing, to first of all. So but I don't feel that really within their energy. They're kind of just like, okay, well, I'm here, I'll take it, but I'm going to take what it is that you're allowing. So if you put your boundaries up and you say, look I'm not in a place for friends with benefits, that's not going to happen, then now you're pushing them into a place where they're going to feel more solid. They're not just going to be, it's almost like I said, it's like the energy that you're giving or you're allowing is what they're going to start to take. So when they start coming back, if you get into this place of, yes, we'll just, have sex, we'll just sleep together, whatever it is, I'll just kind of sit back and wait for you to do something. They're not going to. They're going to be in this place of, okay, well, I don't really, whatever. It's kind of like this, I want to say almost lazy energy, not just with Capricorns in general, but I mean, in just within this person, it's almost like this, I'm not going to put the work in, but when I'm pushed to put the work in, I'm going to put the work in. Okay. So when they do come back, make sure that you keep your boundaries up. Make sure that you are in a solid place. Make sure that you're not giving what it is that you don't want, or not allowing what it is that you don't want. And that's what I'm really getting through. Okay, so Emily says, yes, I expressed that to him, and it's made him think more seriously. Yeah. And that's truly the energy that is really, really coming through. Don't lower your boundaries with this person. It doesn't mean to be, a witch, because I don't want to get banned off of YouTube by swearing or something. but you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be that, hard ass energy, but it's that energy of, no, I'm not letting you get away with this, because this is not because of the fact that I feel like I need to be there. It's like, this is truly not within my vibration. This is not what I want with that person. So if you don't want friends with benefits, don't freaking accept it. Okay. If you don't want a one night stand with this person, don't freaking accept it. It's very strong energy. If you want to go out for dinner and you want to, let's say, start to build on that relationship, it's almost like what you say to this person, that energy to some degree will start to show through, right? And that's what I get from them. So I hope that helps. Time frame. The first word I actually heard, Emily, is I hear something about January, even though I know that that's around Capricorn's probably birthday in some way, but I'm hearing around in January. This could be before, it could be a little bit afterwards, but that word just kept coming through very, very strong. January 18th, yeah. So it like I said, it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. But
did we connect with this last week?
Huh?
Did we connect with this last week?
I think so.
Because I'm just getting, when I connect, I'm getting like the same images, which is really interesting. Like, okay, the energy, the cadence, it's all the same. It's so interesting.
What are you getting?
So I wanted to make sure. I felt, it's hard to describe it, the energy of it, but it's set up in the exact same scene for me And I keep feeling, is this the person that was like really popular or something?
Oh, right. Yeah, I do believe that might have been. Okay.
Because
Yes.
I get that whole impression all over again.
Right.
And when I connect here with so this time what I did is I connected with the intentions.
Yeah.
And when I connect with Capricorn's intentions, I keep feeling this getting ready and waiting moment that I got last week. And it was like, okay, once all this dust is settled, then I can finally do something. And I feel like January was tapped into last week as well. And so when I look in the intentions this time, Emily, and then we'll have to move on, I do keep feeling this intention of creating new emotional connection. I do feel like right now, again, all of that is currently a bit clouded just because he cannot foresee when he's going to be able to do that, or when they will be able to do that. But it's just very clear that there is that feeling within Capricorn of, okay, I know that I want to do this. It's just, when am I going to be able to? When is the right time? And
the other
obviously
thing,
you have that question too.
Exactly. And the other thing I'm feeling too, is going back to this large friend group, is because that energy that I kept feeling really coming through strongly is, again, the fact, like, if you put the boundary down, he'll start to move towards it. Like he'll go, oh, okay, I'm good with that. Right. But if you let that boundary down, again, it's not that he's not interested, he doesn't want it, whatever it is, but he's got this other energies around, again, not in a romantic sense, but like this huge friend group. So he can distract. He doesn't need this relationship, is kind of where it's coming from. But if you start putting that energy and saying, look, this is what I expect out of this relationship. This is what I want. And again, not in a nasty way, but in a, like, let's have this conversation type of way. This is when you're going to really start noticing those changes. Okay. If he can distract himself, he's going to. So that's the energy that's really coming through for me. So I hope that helped. And yeah, we better go forward.
Yeah, I want to say one thing. I'm so sorry. There's always so much information.
Right?
Capricorn men, they will probably be the first to say it. All of them will be like, I don't want any drama. But I'm telling you right now, Capricorn men they like to work for what they, value.
Yeah. And it's very true. And not only with the men, but the women too, like it's sort of like that trait. But the thing is that they respect and value what they've really worked for.
Yes.
So really this is the bonus. So make them work for what it is. And I have a daughter that's a Capricorn. She's the same way. I mean, when she works hard for something, she values it. She puts it like that. She's put her work and her effort and her love and all of that into what it is that she's created. And she's not going to let anybody or anything tear that down, because it's so, she's put that energy towards it. So that's why I feel like that was the first thing I heard. Don't let your boundaries down. Don't accept something that is not within your personal intention to receive.
Okay. Perfect. Well, it makes perfect sense to her. So that's awesome.
Okay.
So William, are you here? Give us a hello in the chat. We're still young still. Yes, youth. What is the saying? Youth is wasted on the youth. we all want to grow up so fast, I remember being 9 and I'm like, I just want to be 30.
And then you're like 30 and I just want to be
20. That's so true.
Yeah.
All right.
William is here. Okay.
Asked, I want to know what is on the horizon, as in job and life, just in general. What is coming up for William?
Okay.
Our pleasure, Emily.
William, I do hear something about a career coming through here. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I did not hear anything about a job. I heard career. Like there's a higher step coming. It's almost like you're not just heading out to get a job. You're heading out, or a career is about to either be developed or created, or you come up with it's like you're seeking a career. I feel like I feel more stability than just a job. It doesn't mean you're not going to get a job if you're unemployed or anything like that, but it's like you're seeking this career, or you're seeking this element of that, again, that stability, that strong foundation is what that was the first thing I heard. It was literally like I saw the words being spelt out, career. And I don't know if you're in school or in training, something along that line, or if you're just trying to, develop what it is that you're wanting to move forward with. But maybe you can kind of confirm into the comments about that. But it just feels as though there's this next step. And it's interesting energy, because I keep getting the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step. It's like there's this element of moving higher and moving stronger and moving forward. And each step is just building this new level and this new foundation, again, towards this energy of a very strong stability within yourself. I hope that makes sense. I do feel I don't know about relationship right now. I do feel somebody or somebody coming through. But I feel as though there's another step or another element that needs to happen first. I think we had talked about, was William here last week? I think so, right? Are you seeking a career, William? Because it's just a very interesting energy that's coming through, because I'm feeling as though that this needs to happen in some way. Do you have anything to add, Brandon, to that one? I'm not sure if you're...
Well, to echo what you were saying, when I'm connected with William's energy, what Spirit immediately shows me is this unlocking of growth. And it does feel like there is some kind of shift happening where things are just growing in general. That's it. What I keep feeling as a result of, though, is there is going to be a need to, one, create a very clear decision. This might require you cutting something out of your life currently.
Yeah.
But as far as what this growth is connected to, what Spirit keeps showing me is that there is an opportunity abroad. And so they keep showing me a distant opportunity. This could be physically distant from where you currently are, but it also very well could be something that you didn't expect that you would get involved in, that you will be getting involved in. This opportunity does feel more career related, but it also feels like it has something to do with a lifestyle, a way of living. They feel synonymous. They feel like they're almost one and the same. So it feels like you are about to get into an important definition of your life, especially as far as work and career is concerned, but it also feels like it hits different aspects of your life that, you'll see it in your day-to-day, you'll see it in your mundane, you'll see it in the connections, your networkings and relationships with other people. It kind of feels all encompassing. And I think that's why Spirit is being so broad about it, is because it is an opportunity that allows growth in many different facets of your life. But again, like, I think Kathy is right. There has something to do with working and career specifically.
It's almost as though it's really hard to put into this energy in just a couple of minutes. You know what I mean? But what I am getting here is it just feels as though I keep seeing stairway, like it's like step by step by step. It almost feels as though right now, and it's interesting because this energy of the orphaned comes in. So it feels like a little bit of Five of Pentacles energy, where there's a feeling of like, maybe feeling a little bit, away from other people, or like you're maybe different than other people, or that you might not have as strong of a crowd as some people do. This is not a bad energy. What I'm actually getting from this energy, it's coming through because there is this growth sequence that is going to really open up things for you. And it's sort of this energy of like each step is going to open up into this almost new garden, or this new level of well, I'm just going to use the word growth because I can't think of another word at this moment, but it almost opens up into this like whole another layer. And then you move forward again in a whole new layer. Like you've got big things that are going to be coming through for you is what I keep getting. Big things are coming through, but each one is going to be a step. Each one is going to be that level. I don't feel that you're going to be alone on this journey. I do feel that energy of somebody joining you on this, but I don't feel it going to be happening. Like, I feel like the energy could come through fairly soon. But there's going to be this stability that grows between you in order to continue this journey. It's really hard to explain, William, in that extent. But what I'm getting here is like, there's, like I said, big things. It's like you're keep climbing this ladder. This could be whether it's a corporate ladder or whether it's a ladder of, just your own personal growth or towards whatever, career it is. But it just feels as though it's like each level, each layer is going to be so important. And you just keep climbing. And again, I don't feel that you're going to be alone on this journey. I do feel that you're going to have that mutual support from somebody where that energy is going to be exchanged in that yin yang type of energy. So what you give, they're going to be giving to you and vice versa. And I feel like the two of you building up on each other. I hope that's helped.
I just want to close with this and positive for life. I think you're still here. I think you sounded off in the chat. You'll be next. William, I just want to say this, the last thing here. Take notes if you have an opportunity to work with kids. Spirit keeps showing me working with pure souls. So I just want you to keep that in mind and leave you with that.
Beautiful energy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, William. So we're going to move on to Positive for Life. Positive for Life is still here. And they would like to know, will my advisor, Gonzalez, have me enrolled this November? I remember you mentioning to be patient with financial aid for January, but they specifically want to know about advisor Gonzalez having them enrolled by November.
Okay. I think somehow I lost what you were saying there. Could you say that again? Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, will my advisor Gonzalez have me enrolled this November?
Okay. I don't know why. Again, timelines can be so off. But they can be exact too, right? The first thing I heard, November 20th. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much right away. But there might be some sort of information coming through on the 20th, whether it's that you're 100% enrolled at that time. But I'm hearing information coming through in or around the 20th in regards to this. Will they have you enrolled? I kind of feel like it may not be 100, like right in November. It might be within December. Like I keep seeing the first, like the first week of December kind of coming through. It's almost like some sort of news comes in or around the 20th. I keep seeing the 20th. I keep seeing like this could be an email, a phone call, some sort of communication, whatever it is. It's like coming in or around the 20th. And then that first week within December, I freaking see like the 1st and 2nd of December of December. But I mean, it could be within that week, but I keep seeing these numbers coming through. So
I think you're spot on, because when I connect with this, I keep being shown November is some kind of point of contact, and perhaps whatever was built isn't right, and you'll have to go in and choose something different, because I feel like there's some kind of discrepancy or something that's just not adding up, and it's not right for you personally, and then you'll have to revise, and then I feel the solidity in December. So
yeah,
I
it just feels like
we're both on that same energy. That feels pretty spot on that she can rely on that, because we're both picking up the same thing. I see exactly the same thing.
Yeah. It's like something is coming through with that email, or like I said, message or phone call. So something is going to be hitting through that is going to be a change of some sort, or some sort of information is coming through. But yeah, okay. We said
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a class opened up, or maybe one is closed. It's just like a revision, and then it gets solidified.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine. Yes, absolutely, Hauser. But you'll be good. Definitely. I'm actually being shown that you'll be quite content with whatever is being revised or advised here. So I think you'll be in a good spot, good position.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, Positive for Life. Thank you for a simple, quick answered question. All right. CATHRYN is up next. Okay. Will I meet the Strange Escapes group ever again?
Okay, CATHRYN, I'm going to get to it. I have two energies coming in, and I'm not sure why they're both coming in at the same time, because they're both equally as strong as each other. On one hand, I am feeling no. The other hand, which is interesting energy, I feel yes, but you're not going to want to, or there's going to be a change, or you're looking again. It's almost as though you're looking at this particular group or this particular association in a different light. It's almost as though, I don't know why I keep feeling this also could be that energy of that no coming through, like this might not be right for you. But I just feel as though you're looking at it in a different light, or in a different way, or in a different, something isn't quite right. It's almost like though you might be temporarily happy with it, or temporarily okay with the energy of it. But there's a shift. I feel like there's a shift within you, that you have ascended beyond whatever they are, or whatever this is. That's all. Like, it's almost as though you're looking at them and you're kind of like, I don't know if this is for me anymore. I hope that helps. Grant Wilson, is this like a relationship or a person?
It feels like a person that's a part of the group, and I feel like that could be particularly what she's looking for and connecting. I do feel like, just to echo what you were saying before, I do feel like there is going to be an invitation, but I keep being shown to beware of gossip, or like words that are misleading. I feel like it's going to create a very uncomfortable energy. So I think, honestly, if you're getting an invitation, it's going to be important for you to be incredibly direct and clear with these people.
Yeah, because it feels like, I agree with you. Yeah.
It just feels like I just keep being shown clouded communication, and specifically by way of talking. And that often, when I've seen that, it often leads to like either miscommunication or even gossip. And that's an awkward or uncomfortable energy. Perhaps maybe somebody in there has, I don't know, maybe they are trying to solidify their spot, and they might think that you're trying to come in and take their spot. So just be incredibly direct. It
just feels like an energy that I keep seeing. It's almost like you're looking at them like you've evolved, but they haven't. You're going to be seeing things in a different light towards whatever this energy is. So Grant Wilson, I do know I'm actually a part of TAPS. So I know who Grant Wilson, or like, I know he's not with TAPS anymore. I'm going to, you know, my first thought, my first energy that came in with that was no. And it's not to say that it couldn't happen. I'm just, what I'm getting with that is I feel almost an energy of him kind of moving from this particular field, or some sort of energy where I almost feel as though there is this uh, pedestal, I guess, to some degree, where he starts to separate himself from other people, it's like removing of himself. I don't know if this is, you know, to focus more on family or, you know, something else, but I feel it's like this separation of some sort. I don't know when exactly that would be, but I don't know if he'll probably stay within the field, but it might, I'm not getting that he would be, you know, direct with the people in some manner. So I hope that that's helped.
Oh, I do want to throw this insight in there real quick, Kathy. CATHRYN, Spirit keeps pointing me for you to be doing something new.
Yeah.
They keep specifically saying that there is some insightful, crazy smart male that's in your life, and that you will be working together and doing something different, but similar to what is going on with that other group. But there's a different twist to it. And
it's more solid.
Yep. There's originality to it. There's newness to it. I also keep getting this image. I don't even want to say it because I feel like I'd be giving away my own idea, but I keep getting this idea. I'll just give it away since it came through here, of perhaps connecting to people who seem influenced by spirits or have entity attachments. Yeah. So I'll leave you with that.
Yeah. I feel, yeah, I just feel something more solid coming. I literally feel like there's a step apart from this particular group or this particular whatever it is. And I feel like you're going to head somewhere, or you're going to, like Brandon said, you're going to head somewhere. There's somebody else coming in that is going to be more solid, more stable. I keep getting the solid, but it's almost as though you're going to look at this and you're not going to be getting the answers that are as deep as you truly want them to be within this particular group. It's very surface is what I feel. Yeah. So he likes Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who. The 10th Doctor, though. He's my favorite. So okay. I love some David Tennant, right? You know, he's awesome. Okay, let's move on.
All right. Polyfree is next. Polyfreeze, give us a little hello. Yay. Polyfreeze right there. All right. Thank you, CATHRYN. So Polyfree would like to know, I am having a problem with creating solid relationships that last a long time. Am I sticking to my morals and ideas of self-worth too much?
No. I do feel, though, I'm going to be honest with you, I do feel a tad of judgment that comes in from you towards people. Like, it's not that you're not sticking with your morals. It's not that you're not it's not that you shouldn't stick with your morals. It's not that you shouldn't stick with your boundaries. But what I'm getting is there needs to be a little opening of forgiveness coming through. It's almost as though you've built up this wall, or built up this aura, or this barrier. Intelligence means way too much sometimes, I think. Explain how you mean by that. It's kind of interesting. I feel like these people that you're meeting. Okay. Just give me a second here. It's coming through. Don't let down your morals. Don't let down your barriers. Stick to your plan. Is like stick to your where you are right now. Of what it is that you want to bring through. I do feel, however, don't completely close the door immediately if that energy isn't showing exactly where it is that you want it to be. Okay. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a chance coming through here. I'm just going to read what you say. I have a problem holding conversation with a lot of people because they honestly make me angry. I don't know why. That's where I'm kind of feeling, and I hate to use that word judgment because it sounds like you're being judgmental or you're, being like on a negative manner. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit of maybe that shadow work. Okay, that shadow work going in as to why is this upsetting me? Why does this allow me to put up these barriers? Why am I just not interested? And it might have to do with some, internal shadow work within yourself. But what I'm also getting here, it's funny. I don't know if you're like Mensa or something like that, but it's like one of the words that kept coming through. It's almost as though you have this. This is not only an intelligence that you have in you, but this is, are you like a Scorpio or something like that? Because you are, you're so intuitive, you're so quick, it's almost as if people can speak and exactly their intentions, their words, all of their, like, you're just already there. And especially for slow speakers, you must be just like wanting to bang your head against a wall. Oh, you're a Pisces. Okay, well that explains why too, right? But it almost feels as though, so you've got this high intelligence, but you've got this extremely high intuitive knowledge that's coming through for you. And bloody heck, this must be so freaking frustrating at times because you're almost seeing the words before it is that they actually speak, or you can kind of, it's almost like you're seeing what it is that their intentions or what they're going to say, or like you have no tolerance for somebody who's like surface level. You want to go deep, you want to go hard, you want to go like right in there, and you want to get to like you want to discuss total issues and all of that stuff. So I get what you're saying. I do feel though there is a little bit of a place where I'm actually listening. I'm hearing here there's an element here that needs to there needs to be listening as well, because I almost feel as like these people that you're encountering, we got to remember these people that we encounter, there's always a reason why we're encountering them, whether it's for us to learn something or whether it's for them to or for us to teach them something. So I just feel a little bit more openness towards that. And I feel like you're going to, once you start practicing this, even if it's just a little opening in the tolerance, okay, just a little bit, I feel as though this energy is going to start really opening up a new path and really showing you towards what it is that you want within that person, or that allowing that person. It's interesting. I see you here. I see this pathway with a person at the other end of this path. It's almost like you guys are trying to take that walk together, but you have to have these conversations with others in order to allow this. And as you're moving forward, you're starting to really notice each other. You're starting to see each other. It's like, this is the vision that's coming through. And then you're going to kind of look, it's almost like this crowd is around you and you can see this person, they're seeing you, and you're like, oh, there you are. I get it. But it almost feels as though you got to allow some of these openings to happen. And it doesn't mean that you have to tolerate anything, if you're ready to like, if you're like this, the entire conversation. But it is asking you to start listening a little bit more, and maybe even ask yourself, why am I supposed to have this encounter with this person, this communication? What is the reason for it? allow me to learn so that I can move on. So I hope that that helps, because it just really feels being the teacher. Yeah, it is hard, right?
Hang on, I want to
Yeah, go ahead.
there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right, Polyfree.
Here he goes. Sit down, honey. I love this.
I feel you, feel me. I can see you see into me. I know that you recognize intelligence. I know when you see it. The one thing that Spirit immediately says when I connect to your energy, they keep saying, you need to communicate from the soul. The brain is not king. The brain is not king. We often think that, but the brain is a tool.
Yeah.
The king, quote unquote, is the heart, the soul. And when you come at a place of, I think Kathy is absolutely spot on so much, but I think that you have blocked off a lot of these things that she was speaking about you being intuitive, about you being deeply connected to other people. And I think you did this when you were younger. I think you saw so much that you blocked it off, and it maybe freaked you out in some way. And so now you've learned to deduce, to use deduction, to use logic, to connect. And so this is not creating long lasting because you're missing a few of the elements that are needed for personal and interpersonal connection. So when Spirit says communicate from the soul, it is bringing that part of yourself back that has been blocked off or shoved away. That meek, tiny little eager voice that believes that everybody is connected all together. It is that voice that has been quieted. Oh my God, I can feel crying. I feel like I'm going to cry right now. It is that voice that needs to speak up. It's that one that's going to create the right energy to be in something that is long lasting. It's all these parts of the self that work in connection together that creates the right energy for a relationship that does last. So literally make sure to communicate from the soul. And like Kathy said, if you need to do some shadow work to get to that place, to get to that voice, please dive into that, because you really are connected to so many people. And I see people in there as a Pisces thing. Absolutely, it is a Pisces thing. Pisces are the most spiritual and most psychic sign of the zodiac, arguably with Scorpio, of course, and Cancer. Cancers are very psychic. But I always think Pisces, because Pisces have clairsentience. They are natural empaths, and they feel everything that is going on around them. And it can get to the point where they completely shut themselves off to feeling that. So it's super important to make sure that you do that shadow work if you cannot feel that connection with the soul. The best thing I can advise for you to do is take your human self, which includes the brain, and your soul, and let them develop a relationship together. What do they think about each other? Write it down if you need to. Write as the human self, then write as the soul, and communicate. Ask them questions. Talk. Have them talk to each other, and see what insights you can derive from that moment of what you really need. Ask yourself, what do you really need, soul? Soul, what do you really need? Yeah. Get past that trauma, heal that trauma.
That's happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been very shut off from some trauma that happened a few months ago, and I need to focus on. Absolutely, you do. And I feel like too, again, it's something like there is a learning pattern is what I keep feeling that's going through here. Almost a learning pattern of like some patience, some that temperance, that allowing, that blending, like Brandon was saying, the head and the soul, head and heart, even that blending of that that energy. I'm also feeling it's interesting because we've got the grounding energy is what is definitely needed. So it's again, like almost like your soul chakras on the bottoms of your feet need to be grounded with that crown chakra opening, allowing basically all of these to realign with themselves. It's almost like there's parts that are, some of the chakra system is closed. It's shut down a little bit, and there's not allowing that direct flow. And I feel like really working on that too will really help open up. And it almost feels, I literally see like this beam that could go right through into the soles of the feet, and allowing that grounding, but also opening up that chakra system and this beaming from that heart chakra as well. It just feels as though this energy of whatever it is that you experienced a few months ago, I feel like it was meant to almost bring about a new learning or a new shift within your experiences in some manner. Like there's because of that energy, this was almost like the like shutting off the breakers in order to reboot them all again in a positive way. And it's going to be coming through, and you're going to really start noticing that. So
beautiful. What a beautiful thing. And I think that applies to a lot of people here listening to.
Okay.
They're finding information from that.
I hope
so. Let's move on here. Thank you, Polyfree.
I hope that's helpful.
I just want to be clear. So we have Jessica next. Make sure you're here, Jessica. Also, I'm going to need from Andre, Have Faith, Dinesh, and Kay. I don't have your questions. Please submit those in the chat so that I have them so we can get to you quickly and then get to everyone else. So please, Andre, Have Faith, Dinesh, and Kay, please submit your questions.
I need to say too to Polyfree, here I have to tell you this, because your energy there is like this beauty within your energy itself that is just so strong. And I feel like a message coming through for you that you have to also accept that beauty within yourself. Like it literally, as Brandon was talking, I actually felt like I was being hit with this beautiful, like in a positive way, energy, not hit like in a negative way, this beautiful positive energy that it just, like you are just so.
You felt their shift.
Yeah, it was like this. It's like you're so kind, and you've got this deep, oh, I'm going to cry. It's like this deep nurturing or spreading of love energy that you've got within you. And I just feel like you have to accept that too. I felt it. I think Brandon feels it. And it was almost like this secondary message that just came through, like, allow this. And oh my God, I literally, if we don't move on, I'm going to cry, because I'm going to be sitting here like a big mess, right? But
that's the thing with healers, especially healers. They have to heal themselves first, but they will always be brought people who are healing themselves first, and they need their help.
Yeah.
And they'll always be brought that first until they learn to heal themselves. Look at Chiron in your chart, Polyfree. Go look at Chiron in your chart, look at where it is, and start there.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. Like, honestly, it really was. It was just overwhelmingly just, yeah.
Oh, love it. Okay. All right. Before we end up in a sobby mess of tears, let's move on. So Jessica is next.
Okay.
Jessica would like to know, I have a career question. I know, first time asking on it, LOL. Wanted to see if I'll get a job where I can travel. So NGO, UNICEF, etc. at some point next year. Just really any improvements in finances. Thank you.
Okay, I do feel this. I feel, though, here's what I'm getting. I'm sure that there's nothing wrong with UNICEF, but I'm almost getting some more private, not huge and corporate for some reason. I almost feel there has to be, okay, I'm not going to put any company or organization or any place in a negative light, especially on public YouTube. But I feel as though there needs to be, with you, I almost feel as though this genuine energy needs to come through. You cannot align with something that is not of a genuine nature. And I feel as though you need to start looking into more private energies, or energies that are truly going to be that draw for you. Okay. I'm really getting that if you were to get involved with a let's say, surface energy or an energy where you're seeing that maybe not all of the money or a lot of the funding is going to truly help people. All of that energy is coming through, that there is going to be this extreme and massive dissatisfaction within that. Do I feel it could be happening? Yes. Again, here's the words that are coming through. I'm feeling this could be like June. You are going to have to put that work towards this. You are going to have to, really apply, like put your energy out there. But I am getting that there is a sense of, I almost feel like it's interesting energy. I almost feel like you could be working with like a partner. It doesn't, at some point, I don't know if this is going to be immediate energy or what it is, but it almost feels as though like a traveling in a duo or traveling in a group or traveling. But it just feels like this energy of, I feel like your heart really going towards stuff, really going towards that absolute healing energy of the children. And there's a strong bond there that is just going to continue to grow. I feel like this could be June or July of next year. But again, that energy, you have to work on that energy within, like you can't just sit back and say, okay, well, where's the job? And you know that very, very well, obviously. But you will have to apply for it. But again, I'm really feeling, do not go with something surface, okay? Or don't go with something that is going to, don't go with something just because for the fact of going with it. I feel like you need to really go with it because this is where your heart, for whatever reason, is drawn. I feel like there could be something that just shows up unexpectedly in around the first part of the year. Like I want to say maybe February. This even could be, anywhere between January to March, where you just sort of see or you hear about something. It's almost like that opportunity is going to come through. Here's the thing, though. You cannot doubt this opportunity. You can't sit back and go, oh, should I or shouldn't I? I don't know if I should. It's almost like it's showing up for a reason. Go, go, go. I hope that's helped.
Just to echo here, I absolutely agree. It's got to be meaningful work, 100%. I do, excuse me, I do feel that travel really is part of this work.
Mm-hmm.
I keep being shown that this is the key to opportunities. And then when I specifically ask about money and finances, they feel a little uncertain right now when I tap into the current energy. And so when I ask Spirit about what needs to be done in order to change and increase finance, they just keep telling me, they just keep saying over and over, crack the whip. I have no idea.
I know what it means, and she knows what it means, and she's just not doing it. So
they just keep saying crack the whip, crack the whip.
Yeah. And that does have a lot to do with it. Yes, I agree with that. I hope that's.
I've never seen anything like that before, so that's why I had to throw it in there as I saw it. Sometimes, like you've told me before, sometimes things just, we don't really get it, but we just pass along the message and hopefully they understand.
Yeah. I don't know why. I know. Oh, what's interesting? Here's what's coming through. I just pulled some cards literally for you, Jessica, too. It says making a choice. Okay, so that's again where I feel like there could be, when you're looking for this particular work, really pay attention to where it is that you're going. Don't just take something because it might sound good on the surface, because I do feel that element of being satisfied, but we also have home. So this is going, I feel like your ultimate choice. Like, go with what feels like home. Go with what feels like, this might even stay within your community at first, but I do feel travel. I'm not really getting a whole lot of community, to be honest. Like immediately, I feel like this is going to be more distance, more travel, almost very quickly. But again, you have to go with the thing that, the part that is making you feel like home. Okay.
Yes, I have to resonate that. That is incredibly important.
Yeah.
The irony being, of course, if you are traveling,
Yeah.
you're kind of all over the place, but that is so
Mhm.
incredibly important because that comes up for me as well. It has to
It
feel
has
like home.
100%. Like I just
Yes.
feel a
You'll
complete
know that
dissatisfaction.
feeling. You'll know it.
Yeah.
You know it when you feel it, but it has to feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, totally agreed.
Absolutely. Okay, who is next?
All right, so we do have some people that haven't put in their questions. So again, Andre, Have Faith, Dinesh, if you guys are still here, please submit your questions in the chat. I haven't seen them. So if you're still here, and Kay, I might have missed and passed your question. I'm so sorry. I don't have it on my list here. If you've said it already, just tell me and I'll scroll through the chat. If not, just go ahead and submit it again. But for those of you who I've said, again, Andre, Have Faith, Dinesh, please submit your questions or we will have to skip over you. All right, so Carrie is next. Carrie, oh, I love when these come up. I love these moments. Carrie says, I have so many questions on so different topics and I can't pick. So I'm giving you permission to tap into my energy and tell me what you feel.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Carrie, first thing I am getting. I can't remember the name. I know there's a particular name. Oh, it's right freaking in front of me. You see that spiral? I keep feeling the spiral coming in for you. That was the first thing I saw. It was almost like, but I was seeing it in a bigger picture. It almost feels like there's a cycle that is coming through. You're very intuitive, aren't you, Carrie? Like it feels as though going around, like it almost feels as though holy shit. I literally feel like there is this spiritual connection that you're trying to grasp onto or that is trying to come through for you. And it almost feels as though you're being raised in this energy. God, I'm just, there's so much. It's almost like I'm being flooded with all of this information. I don't know how or where to even go with that. It almost feels as though you're really broadening, you're opening. There's this ascension, there's this elevation that's coming through. It almost feels as though your senses, your awareness, I almost feel it's like from your feet up, it's like everything you're starting to feel. I don't know exactly what this has to do with, but it just feels as though this spiritual, this psychic, intuitive senses are just starting to explode, develop, and open. Even if you've been in that realm for a while now, it's like you're taking that next step. I don't know if that makes any sense. You may want to narrow down the questions for me because it's literally, there's just so much that's, but it's circling me. I don't know if yeah, please.
I'm gonna echo this here. You're absolutely spot on. Because when I tap into Carrie, there is a lot. Immediately when I look at just the energy and what needs to be focused on, they keep showing me the intrinsic and natural insights that keep pushing perpetual growth within Carrie. There is a lot. It feels like Carrie is going through growth in all aspects of life right now, but specifically because you are receiving this incredible expanse and wave of energy right now. It's so important. They keep pointing me specifically to one thing about focusing specifically on emotions. I feel that these are your own emotions to work into, to really just knit and grit those teeth into, dig into them, tear them apart, put them back together, figure out, how they work, what they're contributing to. Not only your emotions either, not just yours, the people around you. You're going to have people brought to you that are going to be in emotional crises themselves, and you're going to be communicating with them about them. So there is a lot for you to help people, not only help others, but help yourself to dig into emotions, specifically emotions, and to root out what is important to help them break them down and then communicate them, so that way they are not held prisoner by these emotions, but yet they act more as little guides, little indicators, and that you'll be learning that intuition is more reliable than emotions as far as making decisions or life movement. And you'll be kind of solidifying that lesson for yourself and other people around you. That's what all of this energy waving into you has to do with, is teaching others and self on how to navigate.
I feel, I just read your comment, your comments, Carrie. I'm so sorry. First of all, thank you, for all of your, you'd wrote that you were a first responder. I mean, thank you for all of that. That, right there in itself is traumatic work. And I'm, my deepest heart, the deepest part of my heart go to you, towards the babies. But I'm also getting here. There's no but. I didn't mean to add that but in, because that's not right. But what I'm getting here is that it's a very interesting energy that's coming through. It almost as though you keep, yes, you're empathic, but what I'm really getting here is there's a visionary. It's more like visionary that's really starting to come through. And I again, going back into this like spiral type of energy, I almost feel you here, and these visions are spiraling around you. They're coming through. You keep seeing, and it's almost as though, like Brandon said, you have to go into your emotions, really allow yourself to work through this. Because I do feel that as you're moving forward, as you're clearing, as you're allowing, as you're accepting, and really bringing through all of these energies, you're going to start that path to strength, is what I keep getting. It's almost like you're here and you're making this way around into not feeling that energy of being held back or trapped or whatever it is. It's like, allow yourself to just develop, go right deep into those energies. And as you do, you're going to be releasing and moving forward. I do feel like this is going to be a deep process. But it's interesting because I get a lot of external energies. There might have to be a lot of forgiveness from you towards others. And that might be where you hit a little bit of a wall. So I hope that's helped.
There's a lot that I feel Carrie is going through. And the interesting thing is, because of where this energy is hitting Carrie, there's nothing that we're going to be able to do for you that you're not going to be doing for yourself.
Right.
Is the thing. Every time I connect to somebody who has energy like this, because I myself have energy very similarly, where people pick up on so many different broad things, and it's because people like yourself, you have a direct and active roots in the creation of your life, whereas some people, they kind of have life created to them or onto them. You, Carrie, have a very specific tone of having the ability to create your life more than most. We all absolutely have that. That's absolutely true. We all create our life, but some people let life happen in the subconscious. For Carrie, it is a very conscious focus. And I know that energy very well, trust me. And so when you do this, when you really dig into all those emotions that, again, you had mentioned PTSD, when you really dig into those, understand what you felt, why you felt it, and what you needed to learn from it, then it's as if they'll kind of be released. That PTSD will not haunt you. It will allow a sense of being more present. Whenever we have emotions that we've never really fully worked on, we actually limit our growth. We stay at that age of where we were in that moment. And so that's why people talk about regressing or going back, because they have to go revisit that moment. So we don't fully grow. And then, even in hypnotherapy, if I were to do some kind of regression and we heal a trauma from the past, we then have to take that healed person, whatever age that was, and then grow them back up into present moment. So that's what you're going to be kind of working through, is healing those past traumas and then allowing yourself to grow back into present so that you're fully integrated into a full sense of self. Perfect, whole, and complete. Use that as your mantra. Perfect, whole, and complete, because you already are, but you're just allowing it to catch up with you, all those other emotions.
Yeah. And I think it was, I think it just keeps feeling this is the start of your journey. You may have already had that journey, that element, those chapters, but it's almost like you're beginning a new book, and you're beginning this new book. And that's why I kept feeling like maybe you're like in the middle of this circle and you're going like this spiral.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not a spiral particularly. It's like that shell, like that you're in the beginning and you're going around to, onto that new one, into that new, new life, new beginning, new awareness. All of this is just new, and it's just absolutely beautiful, beautiful energy. I love it.
There's depth to these healers, my goodness.
Right?
A lot of
But how lucky
here
are we though? Right? How lucky are you and I that we get to be a part of their energy during this time?
I know. Deeply humbled and grateful.
Right? And
really am.
and when we look at that, it's like, oh my God, thank you for allowing us to be a part of you guys today.
Yes.
That really makes a difference too.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple of people who have not responded.
Okay, so let's we'll just move past that, I guess, maybe.
So Shafi, if you're still here, please sound off in the chat. Andre, have faith. Dinesh, please sound off in the chat if you're here. Otherwise, we're going to move on to Kay. So Kay had a question, and it does seem health related. So I already warned Kay that this is something that you've kind of already outlined, that you probably won't be looking into. I'll ask the question,
okay,
and then just see if you respond. But Kay does have a second question. So if you do have that second question, please post that in the chat, and we'll see what Kathy says here. Okay. Kay says, my twin sister, is currently battling for her life and in the crisis unit for addiction. Can you pick up anything to tell me for her? I'm nervous things will go south. Had energy healing sent to her.
Okay, I can only, I have one direct message that's coming through. I'm going to say we're going to answer the second question probably more so, but I do feel like this is more for you than it is about her. Well, it's going to be for both of you, but this is the first thing. As soon as Brandon started talking, what I felt, what I kept hearing is, sweetie, this is her journey. This is her journey. And I just keep feeling I almost feel your energy draining, your energy being depleted by putting it into her healing, into her trying to give her strength. But oh God, this is hard. I almost feel like her taking that energy and she's taking it in, but she's not really using it to its full expanse. She's not she's not using the healing that she's receiving from you, from others, all of that to the highest degree. It's almost just sustaining her or giving her, like, this healing has to come from her. This is her journey. This is the energy that is absolutely needs to come through. So I hope that that helped with that one. I think, I don't know if you want to add to that, Brandon, or if you want to.
This is really tough. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a tough situation and a tough energy to deal with, but you're absolutely right. This is her journey. And when I connect to the situation, I just keep being shown that there has to be a cut off of energy. And I hate to say that
because it's almost like it's draining. It's draining from you.
Yeah.
It's like okay. Oh, this is hard because what I feel, it's almost like I feel you withering along with this energy, but yet I could, I'm just not getting that she's putting the energy that it's almost as though she's relying on the energy. She knows the energy is going to be there, so she just keeps taking and taking and taking in some way, but she's not really putting it toward it's kind of, okay, I'm going to use a weird analogy and I apologize, but it was the first analogy that came through. It's almost like somebody who has, a rich parent or whatever it is, and they just, they don't have to work for themselves. They don't have to put that energy. They don't have to, find that job, find that career, put a lot of work towards whatever it is, because they've always got this resource. And I almost feel like that is the energy that keeps coming through for me in regards to her. It almost feels like you have to block that energy. It's not saying that you're not helping her, you're not healing, but right now she's not putting it towards a good resource. I almost feel like you got to shut it down in order for her to really start her healing journey, because there's been a lot of reliability that's coming through from around people that she's counting on, and she knows it's going to be there, so she doesn't put that effort into healing on her own.
You're 100% spot on, Kathy. You're so spot on. Think about this. Like, let's do a simple analogy. So, for example, say you live in your house and you have a favorite cracker that you always love to eat, right? And so you have somebody who constantly, maybe it's a roommate or a partner or a friend, who's constantly buying it and refilling it. And like every time you go to eat them, there's just more there. Well, you're the one that is you're the one that's kind of putting those crackers back, and everybody else, that's around her, they're putting those crackers back. And so she realizes that, okay, the crackers aren't there, I'm gonna have to go to the store to go get my own, because that's what you keep doing. She needs to learn how to do that, to go to the store to get her own. And so when I ask about this, and what your sister specifically needs, is that she needs her own internal strength. She's got to dig back in to really find that within herself. And the best way to do that is by example. She needs to see what it looks like to be strong for yourself. She needs to see what that looks like. And so because she is intimately connected with you, because the two of you are twins, there is a natural intimacy and connection there. You will share feelings, you will share thoughts. That absolutely happens.
And energy and
absolutely.
And that life vibration as well. Right?
Yes, and since you are connected in that way, you have to be the one to show her how that looks by doing it for yourself. You have to be strong for your own self and showing her, like, I love you, incredibly, but I have to be strong for me first, because you need that too. And so you have to do it by example. It's really difficult. Trust me, Kathy and I feel it. We feel the draining energy. I keep being drawn to the neck. I don't know what the heck is going on with the neck. Maybe you need to do some movements there, but I feel a lot of strain in the neck and shoulders. And maybe that's where you're holding a lot of stress. So whatever you can do to release that pressure. The neck is always about our
head. I feel it within the head. It's almost like that third eye. Like I almost want to say it's like a pressure, or I keep getting like a pressure ahead. Like it's on. It just feels filled, like a pressure headache. Coming through, like this pressure, pushing pressure is what I keep getting.
I know it might be silly, but talk to that pressure, that pressure in the neck and the head, and ask it, what do you want? What do you need? And it's weird, but when you do stuff like that, when you separate those parts of the body, it does give you some kind of subtle communication. So ask it what it needs and allow yourself to be intuitively guided to shift that. And start asking, because again, when you do that for yourself, your sister is going to learn to do the same thing. She will learn by example. So when you do these things for you, it does carry over. You have to trust that. You have to trust that.
You're
trust
so
the connection.
Yeah. Trust in it. Yeah, absolutely. Trust the connection. And also trust the universe. The universe gives us these walls to put up for a reason. It allows that healing to come through. And we're not put on earth to heal every single person. We're put on earth to heal those and help those that are willing to heal and help themselves.
Absolutely.
Right? So I hope, and you're so welcome, Kay. I hope that it's helped. I feel like good things coming, but there's going to be a process, there's going to be this process. Don't allow her to, suck you back in on this, right? Like, think about yourself too. And your own beautiful energy as well. Yeah.
We feel you, Kay. We're giving you absolute big hugs here for you and your sister. Completely.
Yeah. It's tough.
Oh, whew. I gotta stretch my neck out, disconnect. Whew. I gotta make sure I don't take on other people's
God bless you,
energy.
Kay, and thank you so very, very much, like, for allowing us to be able to give you that message as well.
Yes. Ooh, I'm glad that we could touch on. See, that's the thing, and that's why I'm glad that you have that up there, Kathy, about not doing health questions. But there are things that can come through, so
Yes.
I'm glad you did ask eventually, Kay.
Yeah.
And put that, even though I give you that heads up.
Sometimes there's messages that are just needed to be known, right?
Exactly.
Oh, you're so welcome, Shafi. Thank you. There's just, we can't, sometimes Spirit is just going to shut it down and say, look, you're not allowed to give this information. We're not going to go there. We're not going to,
happens.
Right?
That
Like, it's just like, this is just not the energy you're supposed to know. This is not the energy that we're supposed to share. Like, we can't fight with Spirit on this. We can't make stuff up. Like that wouldn't be ethical of us, like, if Spirit. Yeah. And here's the thing, sometimes Spirit is going to definitely give, there might be a message that's coming through that I have, and that message that's coming through that Brandon has, or other people that, it's almost like Spirit is very because my guides talk to me differently. Brandon's are going to talk to his, how he receives information. I'm going to be honest, my guides that people have seen are kind of like, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it your way. Right. So, we all have that different information, but sometimes, Spirit might block me from knowing it and give it to Brandon, or not give it to Brandon and give it to me. And it's just allowing that energy to flow in that natural source. And I just, so there are some questions that, if we feel drawn to, or if we feel like we can answer. And as soon as Kay asked that, it was boom, 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 boom. Like, I just felt it immediately. And here's the answers that you need to know. Here's what it is that needs to be heard and said. So, okay. Sorry. Right. Let's go on. Sorry. One. Oh, okay. Cool. Shafi. Sorry, Shafi.
Shafi J.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Is this your first time? I think maybe.
I believe that it is.
Okay.
Shafi J would like to know, will I reconcile with a past love interest in the near future? If so, is there any specific zodiac sign? I feel, Shafi.
You go.
I feel,
yeah.
Well, she has said something, again, she had reiterated her question and said something about it. Is it a water sign? So it looks like she's looking specifically for someone to enter back into her life, but let's not be biased here. Let's just see if there is a past love that would be coming in into her life.
I'm going to tell you what I pick up. You can tell me, Shafi, if this is resonating with you. This could be a timeline. It could have to do with a particular zodiac sign. This is what I heard. This is what I feel. I feel February. I feel Pisces. They may not be a Pisces sun. They could be moon, somewhere I am getting February. I feel like this is almost a timeline as well as a possible sign that's coming through. And again, it may not be sun. They may have some sort of water element in there. But what I'm getting is this past person. Oh my God, it's coming through like February. Middle of February is what I keep hearing. Oh yeah, he's a Pisces. So there you go. Cause that's what I kept feeling. It's like middle of February. Okay. This is not only a reconciliation of some sort. Like I do. Oh my frick. Okay. When I have things that are repeated, over and over and over and over and over and over and over, again, I have to go with it. I I literally am hearing like February 15th. Okay. I don't know if I don't think that's their sign, but like I said, I don't think that's their birthday because I think that's still in Aquarius. Yeah, it's still in Aquarius. But what I'm getting is the sign is Pisces, but I'm feeling around the 15th, there's going to be some sort of reconnection. I don't know if this is going to be a phone call, a text, a message, an email, could be, pigeons carrying a message. I don't know, but this is either going to be an actual physical sign or it is going to be some sort of thing that is coming through. This might not be right on the 15th. Remember that, timelines can change with will. It could be just before, just be after, around that timeline. But I keep hearing February 15th, there is some sort of shift. So I'm not exactly sure what that is about.
That's so funny because I keep feeling what I was being shown was the water bearer will bear water. I kept saying it over and over again.
So that would be Aquarius, right?
That would be Aquarius Aquarius time is bringing the water person. And they keep showing me the person who is clouded in their actions moving forward, but is incredibly intuitive. So I would have to agree that would be a Pisces energy.
Coming in around
100%.
In Aquarius timeline.
Yes. The water bearer will bear the water.
Yeah, right? Like what an amazing, like right there.
That's too funny.
That's beautiful energy. Jesus, I love that. Right?
I have to definitely echo what you're saying. I think you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Let me mute myself here.
I just kept seeing the 15th, like February 15th. It's almost like I want to say they're not going to do it right on Valentine's Day. They're not going to, like, you know what I mean? Because that just seems a little bit, like, yeah, here I haven't talked to you in a couple years. So, hey, I'm just going to message you on Valentine's Day. Like, yeah, right, dude. That's not going to fly too well. It almost feels like I said, that 15th, like I just keep feeling the 15th. Now, please do remember though, timelines can be off. Okay. Usually my timelines are pretty dang bang on. So I just want to let you know that. In fact, I actually got a message yesterday and I showed it to Brandon because I was so excited. I had told somebody that their house was going to sell like almost immediately, like boom, boom, boom. Like I just kept feeling like almost immediately. And she messaged me yesterday and she said it sold within 3 days. 3 days. So, it's like, as long as we stick to that area, as long as we stick to the advice, as long as we follow our intuition, stay within that patience, that temperance, usually those messages come through very strongly for a reason. And it is for that guidance. And it's that, because this message is being allowed to be known to you. Yeah. So I hope that that's helped, honey. And, I hope you're here next week too. Right. Thank you for joining in this week. It's so appreciated. Yeah. And was that?
We got them all.
Really? Wow. Oh, okay.
Some people had dipped out, but that's okay. They might come back next time.
Yeah. Well, we're here, right? So, okay. I think it's been a long day. So I think that we are going to go. Remember, next week, we're going to have, Brandon and I are going to talk about a giveaway for organites. We're going to, take a look into that. So we'll talk about that next week. Try to remember Monday to Thursday, I'm going to be doing the weekly horoscopes. I have been renovating my house. I am renovating a particular bedroom in order to be able to provide better YouTube everything here. So I've been kind of, slacking on that, but it's coming back next week. All of the regular readings are going to be coming through. Please, by all means, don't subscribe and then unsubscribe, because it really does screw up with that YouTube algorithm. And I truly appreciate you, all of our subscribers, all of our watchers, everything. It means the world to me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a great week. Brandon, did you want to have any closing messages? Oh, and don't forget, all of Brandon's information is in the description box as well. So his YouTube and his website as well.
Thank you for that. I think one of the biggest things I just want to leave on is create that space of home in yourself. Tend to the temple. It really is so important right now, specifically. Again, as we had said in the beginning, with so many things happening and so many different oppositions, to know thyself, know your emotions so that they are not manipulated by other people and outside forces. Remember, your home truly starts within yourself first. And when you can make sure all of that energy is clear and uninfluenced by others, then you will not be manipulated into the future. So thank you for
follow your heart, follow your intentions, right?
Yes.
And your intuition.
Completely. Yes. Follow your own voice, your own inner voice. There are people who are out there trying to specifically mislead you. Follow your own inner voice, especially if you're in the US.
I was just reading Carrie's message. I'm sorry, Carrie, I didn't see your message earlier or just a few minutes ago. Thank you. I'm so glad that we were able to connect on Twitter and, and like bring you here. Like I always feel that we are brought to who we are supposed to have those connections with on that spiritual level, on that physical, that emotional level, whatever it is, those people are coming through. And I truly appreciate that message, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't see it earlier. Thanks to everybody who's new here. Thanks to people that have joined in from before. Thank you. We just love you. Have an amazing
You're leaving her speechless.
I know you are. Like I'm truly like, this is, I don't know. I always sort of get close to tears when we're on these things. But this week, I have been holding back so much. Like you can even just see it in my eyes because I look like I'm going to start bawling. So I'm going to go. You guys have an amazing week. Take care to everybody. Much love, many blessings, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
And oopsie. Hey, apparently I don't know how to turn off the live stream either. So there we go.